Hello, everyone. How's it going today? How are we all doing today? Hope it's been a good day. I have been quite well, having quite a bit of fun doing well, quite a bit of stuff today, actually. I have some more streams set up, but I want to take them more time, so we'll probably have the new features for stream tomorrow. Because I have some new features I want to add. Oh, sorry, one second, I need my glasses. There we go. But in the meantime, yeah, today's plan is going to be all about getting the Marlin started. Lily, hello, how's it going? How have you been? Good to see you. Aside from that, I saw M3 Lee got first. I see a Bazil. I see Cruiser, good to see you. I see Tier, always nice to have you. Who else do I see? Chuck Buntley, Gravitas, Quarry. It's all good to see you guys. Hope you've all been really well. Doing good? Hell yeah, that's good to hear. So, that's today's plan. We're just gonna be, booting into FTD, having a nice little day here. Not too much else. Oh, you know what did happen? I managed to get my hands on Command and Conquer series. So I have Red Alert 2, and I have Generals. Bazil? Like the Pokemon? No, like you are going to Bazil. So I got my hands on the Command and Conquer series. And I want to do a playthrough of the Generals campaign. Just because I like, especially 0 hours with like the head-to-head mode with the Generals. And I want to do a few challenge runs as well, because I used to play the absolute hell out of Command and Conquer Generals. Oh, CNC, yeah, I know, right? It's gonna be fun. I'm going to Bazil Metal Pipe the before. But, and aside from that, I want to do Red Alert 2 as well. Because Red Alert 2's campaign is actually incredible. What about Red Alert 3? I liked Red Alert 3. Like, I've owned it for years, and I never had the... So I owned it on the Xbox 360 originally. And then I would always beat Red Alert 3 and all that. And then only recently did I buy it on Steam because I realized there's DLC for Red Alert 3. Like Yukio's Uprising or whatever it was. But it was really interesting to play, actually. And so it's been long enough where I could probably play those again, except forget most of the story. Roar can play some CNC machining now? Hell yeah. We don't have that here. Nice try, Basil. One of the best lines in the game. Space! I'm escaping to the one place not tainted by capitalism. Space! It's so good. Oh, I do want to replay it now. You know what? I wasn't planning on doing too much FTV today, because I don't know, I've been getting creative, like, between doing YouTube and the FTD streams, I'm getting creatively burnt out on FTD. So, I'll still do roasts, of course, don't get me wrong, but, I'm probably going to do, what's it called? I'll probably do, like, some shorter FTD streams for my own build and stuff, just until I'm done with the YouTube stuff, because that's where the burnout for FTD is really coming from right now, is the YouTube. Like, this Riker video right now is beating my ass, but I've gotten so many additional, like, so much more editing has gone into it, and I'm so happy with where it is, but it is beating my ass. Well, you can see Tim Curry barely stop himself breaking out of the laughter. I know, right? It's so good. Actually, you know what? Okay, I was going to do some Dishonored today, but what if we swap to Command and Conquer Generals right after the FTD portion today? Alright, there we go. It's installing in the background. 1.7 gigs. God. 1.7 gigs for that game. Western game diff. I do love getting all the old games that used to like only be able to get on like PC discs. Because like, they don't have like the fucking overinflated textures that most Western games do nowadays. We have successfully derailed stream. Yeah, I know, it's only been like 2 seconds. Who else have you down for it? And I think chat would be as well. Well, honestly, this game is older than most of chat. So, wait, when did 0 Hour come out? Or, wait, Mason's 100k now? Yes, I reduced the cost. Oh, praise. Command and Conquer. 0 Hour. What year did that come out? Oh, wow, it came out in 2003. That actually is older than some of you. Yeah, Command and Conquer Generals was, because I remember the computer that So we got Red Alert 2 from my uncle because he was a fan of Red Alert 2. Yeah,
I have a message from the field, made in the US of A. I'll build anywhere. Sorry, can't do that.
Yes. Oh my god, my brother and I to this day still quote the Dozer tags to each other, like the Dozer lines to each other. So like my brother will ask me to do something when I'm home and I'll just go, "Ah, yes, China will grow larger," and stuff like that. But no, made in the US of A is incredible. Anytime our mom would ask us to do something outside, my brother and I would just go, okay, I will work. Now I want to do CNC for it. Are the multiplayer servers up to you? Hey Melzor, how's it going? Computer numerical controlled electrical discharge machine. Yeah. I don't know. I'll look into it, like on one of my breaks probably today. If we can get a multiplayer game going, I would love to have a multiplayer game going. Wasn't even thinking about that. Oh wow, I can't believe Tier wasn't thinking about playing multiplayer with me, guys. You go into a forest and eat mushrooms too many times once, and this is how Tier treats you. Wow. That's amazing. For those of you who don't know, Tier's a very good friend of mine. She also streams. Go give her a follow if you haven't already. Okay, bye. What otherwise make you want to play CNC? Yeah, he did an infantry-only run. Except, okay, love B-dubs. Big fan of B-dubs. He did it on medium difficulty, and it was only one AI against him. I kind of want to do an infantry-only run, except it's the entire General's campaign.
Ruston, I have a message from the field. Congratulations, John Roral. You have been promoted.
Oh god. Why is Florson getting better at roar speak? I don't like that. That makes me uncomfortable. Can't believe Bucket Boy is acting like this. Sorry, I'm just drinking now. Our general has fallen, my lord. Shame for display. That's another game I should play sometime. I should play Shogun 2 on stream. What if we just kind of pivoted to being like a strategy game in channel chat? Wouldn't that be hee hee haha silly? Wouldn't that be like so cool? You guys just let me play all my favorite strategy games, and we ignore the existence of story games. There we go. All right, there we go. Also, I have the camera now, so like I'm in the middle of. Actually, I realized because it's FTD, I want to be looking to the right towards you guys. So there we go. Now, when I look at chat, I look over at you guys. Look, face forward Rorson isn't real. Face forward Rorson can't hurt you. There we go. Also, for some reason my OBS is screwed up right now. I usually have it on my second monitor, but now it's only popping up on my first monitor. It's incredibly annoying. There we go. Company of Heroes Far East Wars Soapium. I've never actually played Company of Heroes, fun fact. What about strategy story games? Yes, I will be playing Iron Harvest. Merxy did get me into it. Plays strategy games, building mechanics, plays strategy games, the horror. Okay, you know, that's a fair point, actually. That one's on me. Alright, so let's look at what we need to work on today. Diesel has been on my ass for the last 2 years about getting a Marlin rebuild. Specifically, a Marlin that is equipped with depth charges to handle submarines. So let's look at what we're working with, because ideally, I don't want to change it too much. Company of Heroes is swap, but it's fun. So see, the reason why I never got in the Company of Heroes was because I was a massive Men of War Assault Squad fan. I get you in the bar and it's so over for your editing schedule, honestly. No, that's the main reason why I haven't picked bar up yet, is because I need to have time to edit FTD videos. And I know if it, because with how often y'all play bar, I'd be like, oh, I want to join. Been in Marielle for 3 weeks now. I love this bar. Hell yeah. Did you get smoked meat sandwich? If you haven't yet, I highly recommend getting one before you go. Oh, also, sorry, just on the topic of smoked meat sandwiches, which means it's nothing relevant. How's the mic quality for you guys right now? I've done some changes to my setup here to hopefully make the mic, like, so you guys aren't, you're probably still going to hear clicking of the keyboard and the mouse, but you shouldn't be hearing, like, anytime I hit the desk. Oh, Roar's muted? No, I'm not. Oh no, I forgot. Oh no! How could you? Sounds fine to be honest. Okay, good. Because like, so if I do this, what's it called again? A Montreal smoked meat sandwich. So if I do that, did you guys like hear like any like, like, I just put my feet up on the desk, for example. It's fine, although it's a tad bit quiet. Well, I want it to be quieter. So essentially, because before when I was editing my EU4 VODs, I was able to hear like very loudly if I was moving around. Hear some creaking and bumps. Okay, as long as it's better though. Montreal smoked meat sandwich, yes. As long as it's a little bit better than what it was, I'm happy. Because I know, like, I was trying to edit the EU4 VODs, and I was like, wow, that is horrible, and I have no idea how to fix that. Because I have such a small setup area. So. Alrighty, what are we dealing with here? Cram and APS Vtuber. Honestly, I think we turn this front gun into, like, a CWIS kind of deal. We keep the 2 crams on the side. And then we could either... Okay, chat, do we keep the APS or do we keep the crams? Because one of these is going to be changed to a depth charge turret. Or we could just keep the depth charges down here. Because I was told I'm required to have depth charges on this build. Oh my god, what are those internals? Oh, good heavens. Dear lord. Alrighty. I'm not going to look at those. Mixed APS cram turrets, yeah. So keep the turret layout the same, just replace this down here with depth charges. I think this needs some bottom turrets. Well, we're gonna be having depth charge turrets down here, that's why I'm asking. Depth charges are just rum barrels falling off the bar balcony. That's actually a really good idea. Have depth charges up here, like roll-off launchers, except it's just barrels. That's not a bad idea. What's that sign say? With a plank. I see. Who did this? I think this was originally Carb's build. What year was this built? There's just some guy T-posing. Bottom could do some shaping and depth charges. Well, I kind of like the idea of having the roll-off depth charges like up here now at the front balcony. Obviously, it definitely needs a bit of shaping. Like maybe like one more layer out to mimic up here. I know how in quotation marks to build Sveno now, so we can definitely get some work done there. All right, let's start with that front section. I think we're just gonna try and remake it in modern Sveno style. Let's spawn in the... What's a more recent Sveno style update build? I guess the Moray was just updated a little while back. Okay. You set up Borson? I did, yes. I actually remember to this time. I've heard him twice so far. Have you guys not been hearing him both times? Because it is set up for once. Not to brag, but I did remember for once. I even remembered the ads today as well. We haven't? Really? Why? Okay, in that case I don't know then, because I set him up before stream this time. Because I've heard him twice now.
Ruston, I have a message from the field, :3, also don't forget the hard hat.
Yeah, I hear him fine. Thank you for the hard hat reminder. Yeah, we did hear him? There we go. Yeah, okay. I was gonna say, I definitely set him up, because I've heard him quite a few times already in the stream. Okay, so I knew Forsen works. Okay. I assume chat always tries to gaslight me. It's just it's normally a pretty safe assumption. Okay, yeah. So we clean up the transition up here between the RAM and the all that. What song is this? Ooh, yes. Envia Timmy. Timmy. Fucking love this song. I can't tell you guys how much I've listened to Claire Obscure's soundtrack over the last few days. It's so peak. Alright, it seems to me like the Marlin was heavily inspired off the Moray, just judging by some of these segments here. Which means we'll use both to rebuild it. Moray is modern Svenno? Yes. Diesel updated it 2 years back. Alrighty. I'm gonna put you down. And then we just figure out how we want to build this. I think we start with this little section here. Honestly, I think like the Marlin's overall silhouette is already pretty unique, but I think we keep it. Yeah, one of the depth charges is just a solid missile deco deck and anchor. I was gonna do them all as barrels actually, as someone already suggested. Probably do the same as the Shrike's bombs, where like their barrels with like the spikes coming out of them to denote their bombs. Alright. Go. I realize this is the start of the craft, so I can't just start from that. How do they have... Okay, they have a jet in there. Oh yeah, I have to figure out how I want to incorporate the new integrated jets as well. I don't design airships with jets very often, so this is gonna be interesting. It has the same energy as an anti-submarine boxing glove sprint. Asymmetrical missiles. Give it a cartoon fuse with an emissive only to be to fire. It's a depth charge. Lily, enjoy your work. Have a good one. We're just not airship? No, well, name every airship I've built, right? I think there's 2 I can think of. Falkenheim and the Kurakami. Alright. Here we go. Let's go. Sorry, I just fucking love this song. But honestly, I don't see why we don't just copy what we already have. I did not think that through. I forgot I meant to hold shift there. It's one of those little quirks in this game that still gets me sometimes. Did it remove my... Oh, it removed it because it was only one block. God fucking damn it, I hate that mechanic. I didn't remember to turn it off. Sorry, I'm jamming out right now, guys. Give me a second. God, okay, honestly, I want to play Claire Obscure now, honestly. Hey, explosions are likely. Welcome in. Oh, I love the Falcon. Hey, love to hear that. So, Cart built the one that's currently in game. I have a version that I need to rework, but just because I want to make it smaller and more fitted. But this is the general concept of the idea for the new one. See, I need to rework the actual Zeppelin part itself, sadly. The Falcon, when do I get rebuild when it's done? Oh, we butchered the spell? No, you're fine. You got it right, exactly. Too much tube? Yeah, I just gotta widen it out. Widen it out and go from there. I do like all the details on it though. Like, I know someone was saying this looks like a mouth, but I was like, well, no, I feel like a closed beak kind of precludes this from looking like a mouth, honestly. But maybe I move this a little bit back, just so people stop complaining about it. That front looks peak. I want to redo it. The guys, Papos and Carbo was talking with them, they want it a little bit thinner. like more aggressive, and I was like, okay, fair enough. That was simmering. No, that's a no. That's not how bird mouths work. It's just one of those designs too, where it's like working in animalistic aspects into Deep Water Guard. Because you don't want to build just an animal, right? But you also have to like, you want to incorporate it into different features. Whereas the Restart 1 Lebowski, I haven't started it yet. I've been on other projects. I don't think you guys understand how many projects I have just thrown my way. The Falkenheim was a personal project. The Marlin was something Diesel assigned me like 2 years ago. Front looks big. Incredible. Build more? Oh, so true. I've only been building... I need you guys to understand, I've been building straight... Like, I think I only took a week off from FTD within the last 2 years. Is that how Corey must feel? No, Corey doesn't have to... Corey doesn't have to figure the ideas, though. He just has to finish a build. Also, fun fact, you guys go how he knows how his build stomps feel. The build stomps only get one build. I have to do all the builds. I disperse them between the different stomps. Build Glow? I did build Glow! Alright. Now the question, do I want to keep this little segment here is another question. Maybe switch these out for a Pleek. Sorry, jam it out again. The male vocals in this song just sound so fucking raw, and I love them. You know what I mean? Like, it's just... God, there's so much emotion in this song. I fucking love it. There we go. It goes hard? I know, right? Do you only do Deep Water Guard, or have you built ships over factions? I've at least submitted something to every faction. Or at least modified something on every faction. That makes sense? So, like, I have some updates I did the GT for the guys. I have some updates I've done to, what else? Yeah, I kind of, like, I pivot around everything, and then obviously I build in every style for Ashes, right? Because I'm in charge of Ashes, so... Wait, there are male vocals in this song? Yeah, Renoir. Cool, yeah, so I have style guides for most of Deep Water Guard. I'm working on Riker still, but I have style guides for most of Deep Water Guard over on my YouTube channel, if you're ever interested. Alright. You build for every faction, name every faction craft. Alright, there is the Apostate, the Accuser, the Acolyte, the... Holy cow, he's got glass? I know, right? It's great. And that's the only change that happened with this model. Am I right, chat? For Riker example, would the Jacobs man count? So Jacobs is in a really interesting spot, because theoretically all the Jacob ships should be Riker, but they're all designed... All the modern Jacob ships look like Goldwater designs. Like, Jacob's Folly, that's very clearly Goldwater. Why is the points now a bore? I'm gonna let you look at that again, Cringe, and tell me if that's a bore. It's a piece of chert. Specifically, so what happened is I was like, oh, I need a points redeem, like, icon, right? I just took a photo of some piece of chert I had. I just uploaded it as my my points redeem. No, I mean my Jacob's Man, the Flying Manta Ray. I know, I'm saying, but your Flying Manta Ray also kind of looks... Well, actually, your Flying Manta Ray looks more Riker. What would be your favorite faction that isn't Deep Water Guard? Onyx Watch is the one I've historically built the most for. I have, so my mom actually was just, so my mom has our old laptop, which I used to play on in, like, 2017. And, it's actually really interesting because I went on there and I grabbed one of my old BPs, and it's like I think it was a it was 1 million cost craft. It was a 150k volume, castle ship called the Castellan. It had 8 towers, kind of in the Kinstead style, 8 towers of octuple or custom cannons back
Preston,
then.
I have a message from the field. For shirt, tomato, I feel like Florston cannot say tomato and tomato, so this
You're right,
is going to be dumb lily.
I can't believe you're bullying Forsen like this. That's fucked up. But no, going back to like the cast one is like 150k volume, 8 octuple cram towers. It had an entire courtyard with trees in the center. Like, I was genuinely impressed at how far I had gone on this ship. And honestly, I would update it if it wasn't so large and completely out of the style. You ever have a discount go and chase Diagon to Shale? That's actually a great idea. I like shark ships and concepts, just so happens that some designs fall flat. Yeah, but... You know, not every design should be a winner. Like, it's like Pokemon, right? Not every Pokemon is... Well, I guess the saying is every Pokemon has someone who it's their favorite Pokemon. And it's the same with ships in this game. Like, I don't like the tug of war for example, but I assume somebody likes the tug of war. You know what I mean? Ignore my rock fact request. I saw it. Just let me get back into it. As for your cool rock fact today, what do we want to talk about? Do you have any requests for a cool rock fact? Is there any rocks you want to learn more about? Every Pokemon is a Squirtle? That's so true. Squirtle squad up.
Preston, I have a message from the field. Tomato versus tomato.
Yeah, what about it? Oh, I see how you did it. Nice. So I thought that was just directed at me. I was like, yeah, what about him? I'm allergic to both. Tell me about obsidian? I don't know much about rocks. Okay, so obsidian is really fun because it's an igneous rock. That's, it occurs when lava cools evenly, and that's why you find so much of it in areas like the volcanoes in the Pacific Northwest, right? In North America. So I actually live really close to a massive source of obsidian. I live close to Montana obsidian. Or not Montana obsidian, like obsidian from Washington, Montana area. Because of all the volcanic activity from the Rockies, like Mount St. Helens, for example. And it's actually really funny, because I remember one time my prof was telling us, it's like, yeah, it's actually illegal to transport minerals like obsidian over, like, international borders. Like, I can't just go down to the States and pick up a bunch of obsidian and then come back, right? It's illegal. And then the next thing she goes is, alright, so I have this obsidian from Montana. I just pulled out these massive fucking chunks of obsidian. Hey, Blue Man, how's it going? Obsidian developer made New Vegas? So true. But, speaking of obsidian sword would be based, not gonna lie, I already have an obsidian knife that I made. I wanna redo it though. I made a Cody knife, which is a type of knife from the late Archaic. And it's too small though. I want to like next time I get a big chunk. Actually, I have some primary flakes here, but I could probably whittle down into proper points. But what? So it's one of those things where it's like it technically counts as like imported materials, so like it would technically be tariffed and whatnot. So, but not declaring it is technically illegal. But I don't think anyone cares if you take a bunch of rocks over state lines. Now, to be fair, the quantity my prof had, maybe that's a different story. But, like, if you, like, you know, pick up a rock and just take it with you as a rock collection, I don't think anyone's going to care. Or is actually not an archaeologist. Secretly, he is instead a rock smuggler. Well, talking about that, I had another prof where we were at a historical site. Actually, I can probably say it. So I was at Frank's Slide, right? As part of a field trip. Because I had a lot of classes in uni that, like, would have field trips. It was so much fun. I'll report you to the authorities. Well, I actually haven't done any of this yet, Archivo. Nice try. Explosions, welcome to the assemblage. How's it going? Azusa, how's it going? One tip, do not take rocks from Greece. Oh, I have a fun story about that afterwards. Frank has a slide, gotcha. Well, no, Frank's Slide, okay, so Frank's Slide is a area in Canada where the town of Frank set up right next to a mountain. I want to say Turtle Mountain? No, Turtle Mountain's a little bit further out. I forget which mountain Frank Slide's on, but, and what happened is that it was a coal mine in town or something like that. And one night, landslide. Just the entire mountain collapsed on the town. killed the majority of the residents, and the entire town was buried. So it's a massive historical site now. And if you go up to the interpretation center and use the binoculars, you can just see how much rock came down on the town. You gave me a rock, thief. But you didn't cross an international border. You're fine. Could you imagine I give Deku a rock and then we catch him at the airport? It was a setup. No rocks, only statues. The Greeks legally cannot take them back. There's nothing they can do to stop you. Oh my god. Do you want early access to Barons of the North? Up to you. If you think it's done and you want to have me do a video on it or do a stream on it before it comes out, I do not mind. I can do a link and all that to your stuff. What day is it today? Because the first is next week. So yeah, if I do it on like Monday's stream, I don't mind doing that for you. But and it was so interesting because I need you to know my prof was like in his 70s, geologist, giant of a man. Like he made me look small, and I'm like 6'4", 200 pounds, right? And he comes up to me and he goes, well, he comes up to the group, he gathers us around, he goes, all right, guys, I know you're like geologists and archaeologists. I need you to know that you can't take anything from here. This is a very historical site. And we're like, yeah, of course we're not going to take it. And he goes, okay, great. And then, the crowd kind of disperses and he goes, hey, you guys, like, he referring to me and my buddy. He goes, you two, come with me. And I was like, yeah, what's up? And he goes, I need help chucking rocks in the back of my truck. And I was like, oh my god. He just made up, like, he did like easily a 15-minute discussion about why you shouldn't take rocks from the site. And he goes, all right, get some gloves on. We're tossing rocks in the back of the truck. I want to analyze these. And I was like, that's a graveyard. So, for the record, he was fully permitted to do this. Like, anytime I tell you a story of it's like, oh, don't do this, and then my profs immediately did it, it's because they have permits for it. But it's just one of those things that's so funny where, like, I'm always around whenever someone says don't do that, and then they're immediately like, hey, come help me do this. Because, according to my partner at the time, she was up at the top of the observation center using binoculars, and then she saw us going to the truck, and she looked down, and she just saw the three of us throwing rocks in the back of the truck, and she was freaking out. Did you see his permits? Yes, yes. Don't do it unless you're getting credit working for a professor who has a permit. Exactly, right? Look, and then, going back to the Greece story, there was someone who I was seeing for a little while, who, she went to Greece. And she actually brought me some limestone back. It was super nice. I don't see her anymore, sadly, but it was a nice gesture, I feel. Oi, mate, you got a license for that rock? Oi, I'm rocking you. But, yeah, I think that's most of the story time done. There's your fun rock fact, Basil. Now you don't get a refund. Actual archaeology grave robber? No, it was geology. Geologists are the real grave robbers. I just happened to be an archaeologist who was in the wrong place at the wrong time. You know how it is. Did they come back with the Parthenon marbles? If not, they weren't good enough. No, they did not steal the Parthenon marbles. Oh my god.
Ruston, I have a message from the field. Opinion on petrified wood. Do you think they deserve rock rights?
Why would it not deserve rock rights? Why wouldn't it deserve rock rights? I'm curious. Interesting. Sorry, I just got a phone call and I looked up who the company was from. They're doing an operate in Canada, that's what had to be a scam call, I guess. Geologists take the gravesite and analyze it. Archaeologists take the body and put it in a museum. That's not even true. Actually, so we very rarely remove bodies when we're talking about archaeology. Like, if you come across human remains in archaeology, it's a very, very careful topic you have to work around. I've worked on a few sites now with human remains, and the majority of the time, if possible, what you do is you very carefully remove them with the permission of the local indigenous groups. Usually you have an indigenous consultant on site, and once you're done the archaeology, you try to put it back as carefully as possible. Or if the site's going to be used for construction, say some of the sites that I was on, you would repatriate it to the nation. Have you ever heard about Lake Vostok? Super interested to hear more about what's down there. I don't know Vostok offhand. I'd have to look into that. Like in Antarctica, that's been frozen over a very long time, so it's been completely cut off from the rest of the world. Ooh, okay. Oh, I see. Kind of like, yeah. Okay, that's interesting. Human remains do just that. Geologists steal the rocks, archaeologists steal the shinies that some guy hid in the rocks a few thousand years ago. It's not archaeologists. Who handles Otzi and bog mummies? So Otzi is a separate case, because Otzi was never buried. Keep in mind that Otzi was actually a murder victim who was left to die out in the open. As for bog mummies, that comes into ritualized sacrifice. And keep in mind, I've only ever done North American archaeology, where we work, especially with Canadian archaeology, where we, specifically cultural resource management, where we are very respectful of the local cultures, right? Whereas in Europe, it's a little bit different because those governments are the local cultures. Europe wasn't colonized, right? So it's a little bit different when it comes to European archaeology because you can just get away with that. Like in Europe, if I'm a European archaeologist, I go in and like, oh, cool, bog buddy, let's study it. Because no one's going to be like, hey, that's our ancestor. Like, that's you know what I mean? Tasting the history video about Otzi's last meal apparently it wasn't very good by modern standards. Well, no meal back then was... I need you to understand, go back 50 years, that meal is not good by modern standards. Go back 100 years, that meal is barely recognizable as food by modern standards. Like... Bog buddy. Did I say bog buddy? That's hilarious. Because I do occasionally call bodies bog buddies. Lily, welcome back. Yeah, that wasn't meant to be serious, huh? Well, no, it's one of those things, though, that's, it's really interesting. Like, look at I love talking about the history of food. Like, pre-Columbian exchange, like, one of my favorite things to do is look up recipes pre-Columbian exchange. For those of you who don't know, the Columbian exchange was the exchange of crops between the New World and the Old. Alrighty. Which room do I have? I get 3 blocks each side, okay. Let's do a step pattern. I think that just makes the most sense. There we go. I can probably just do that, actually. There we go. Do here. And then we do you like this. Now you need to be here, don't you? That looks about right. Just make sure I got that scaled in correctly. I did. Let's go. What if you made those ribs less sharp by putting the pleat panels in the parts between the ribs? That was the plan, yes. I've been distracted with yapping too much. You guys caught me monologuing, you sly dogs. It's pretty good, but way too sweet. Tried a recipe for beer from 1568, if I remember right, Tudor period recipe. Yeah, so interestingly enough, like even the spice, like the complete flavor profile is different. I don't know how much you guys watch the Tasting History. I fucking love Tasting History. Such a cool person to talk like. I would love to get a chance to chat with them. Because, like, I know they're not, I don't think they, like, specifically studied history, but the amount of work they put into their videos is incredible. Also, I made this too wide, didn't I? Huh? I didn't. Curious. What without potatoes is more unrealistic than one with dragons? Heresy, hops, and beer all entered England in the same year and all that jazz. Oh, interesting. But, yeah, it's so interesting. Like, I would love to be able to chat the Tasting History, because it's just such a well, like, you know, like, really does their research and such an educated mind on, like, historical foods. Okay, I see what happened here. Monsieur Marlin, how did you do this? You did do it like that, I thought so. Or have you had pozole? I have not actually. It's one of those things that's on my list. I just haven't had a chance to try it yet. You bear rebuilding the entire Marlin? Yeah, I'm pretty much gonna be just touching it up in areas. And then I looked at the internals, I was like, man, I do not want to fix those internals. So I am just doing a complete rebuild and I'll fix it as I go along. Trying my best to keep some of the interior, but also like, you know, fixing up areas like this, right? And there's a lot of deco in here that doesn't quite make sense. Honestly, as far as interiors go for old ships, it's not the worst. It's just not the best. The Townsend's video made me want to try salt pork. Oh, dude, you have no idea how badly I want to make salt pork. I watch that Townsend's video all the time, or like, you know, like Gimli from The Hobbit, or Gimli from Lord of the Rings, with the salted pork is particularly good. Salted pork, like that scene with Merry, Pippin, and Gimli. It's so good. All right, like that. There we go. I'm watching the salted pork scene right now. It's so good, isn't it? Just the salted pork is particularly good. And honestly, they were right. The salted pork is particularly good. And then how do you... Okay, you do it pretty much how I'd expect you to. Go. Now we can move you one out. And then up here is where I want the applique, actually. And just smooth that out a little bit. And then the next one we could do like a full metal bar. Oh god, I forgot how much I hate painted metal. I don't care if it's Fenno style, I still hate it. I don't care who Diesel sends, I'm not painting the fucking metal. Now let's actually make this a little bit bigger here. Give him a little bit more space for the ribs here. So should we do this, do you guys think? Have like a staircase up, or should we just keep a pleat on both? What color should I paint the metal for Deepwater Guard? I don't have a soundboard saying unsavory fins, but assume that I'm yelling at you right now. For corrosion resistance? Ah yes, my airship needs corrosion resistance. Which, to be fair, is actually probably true, but, no, most of the paint in Deepwater Guard is to denote, like, so, like, all the black paint on Svenno, for example, it's kind of just, like, denotes, like, oh yeah, this is the, like, elite of the elite. Because that's what Svenno is. Or be like, he paints like a soy jack! Oh, you know what, that's a great soundboard I can play, thank you. 1 second, oh, I'm not in Discord, I can't use it, never mind. Neko, that's a heinous message. Never enter my DMs again. It's an ocean world, right? Sea breezes be that way. Well, no, I guess, like, yeah, salt corrosion and all that, but I assume most of these materials are resistant to salt corrosion, otherwise we wouldn't have anything in this world. Paint the metal with backshining is to turn your airship into a glare ship? Oh my god. I can see someone doing that as the worst part. Alright, this actually needs to be trim. Alright. Let's actually do it this way, make it have a little bit more sense. I mean, there was a rhyme for glam ship. Oh god. And then this needs to be purple. There we go. And no one said mirror, wow. Deepwater Guard's sort of metal is that they refuse to paint and give it some corrosion resistance. True, it just melts away half the time, you know? That's so true. I like how I called it the mirror mode and then I still didn't put it on, that's crazy. I'm actually a little insane today. I'm mostly just tired today, honestly. Alright, I like that idea. And then... think we remove that little lip there and just have it go straight into the next part. 99% of deep water builders quits before painting the metals. Oh, that reminds me, I have a really funny bit for painting metal in the Riker video. I had to borrow Morgana's red-eyed Rorston beam with the red-eyed Florston as well. Have a good lurk, Lily. Expedition 33 music goes so hard. I know, it's so good. This is, yeah, we're exclusively playing French music during FTD build sessions from now on. It's French the Defs now. You are only allowed to French the Defs, chat. I'm sorry. Yeah, I think we removed this little, like, area here. Just move this forward so this weird wood block texture isn't there. Plus, it'll make it curve a little bit better, I think. Better yet, actually, you know what we do here? Because I know what we do here, chat. Let's have this come into this area here. This actually might be too much metal now that I look at it. Yeah, let's actually move this back one. We have it offset, maybe. Hey, Rodek, welcome in. How realistic the game is? That is a wonderful question. In what way do you mean? If you're talking about in terms of physics, imagine the air is like water and that the water is, I don't know, heavier water? Essentially, the way this game works is that, like, we obviously have massive airships, right? So, the gravity is significantly less than Earth's. Also, welcome into the assemblage, how's it going? Est-ce que ça veut dire que je dois parler français? Alors, je sais français, mais les modérateurs, ils ne savent, oh, j'ai oublié la conjugation, mais ils ne savent pas le français, alors c'est difficile pour moi à modérer quand nous parlons en français, alors le français n'est pas band, mais c'est... Je préfère anglais pour chat. For cat? What is chat in French? Because chat is cat. Wait a second. Oh my god, Shaw is just cat. Oh my god, it's chat is just Neko all the ways down. Chat, it's all Nekos. Holy shit, Neko boy sweep. Damn frog. Parlez un petit peu de français? Ah, bien, bien. In terms of like physics and gravity? Yeah, so the physics and gravity, you're looking at more like, I want to say it's a lot smaller. Nidor's a lot smaller of a planet than Earth is. But, Massage, right? Is that what it's called? That's interesting. Like, so, it's interesting to me because, like, obviously I grew up with French, but there's a lot of vocab I don't know because I've done so much of my life in English. Like, anything I've done in Twitch has been mostly in English, right? Same for archaeology. It was so funny one time because I had a French field lead, and he and I were discussing the different dialects of French because I speak Quebecois, he speaks European French, right? And so I was like, "So did you ever learn like French for French or archaeology in French?" And he goes, "No, I only ever learned it in English." I was like, "Yeah, what are the French archaeology terms?" Because we have so much jargon in archaeology, right? So there was one point where he and I were standing next to a test unit, and he looks at me and he goes, "Ah, I know some archaeology in French." And I was like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Look, untrue." A hole, and I was like, "Wow, you know what? That's peak archaeology. We're just going around pointing, going, like hole, la roche, rock." Like, it was so funny. Like a menagerie of messages. That kind of makes sense, actually. Messagerie. To being a new viewer and watching the Scuba suddenly speak French, I feel like most people who play FTD have been exposed to more than one language. It's a very Europe-focused game. Okay, actually, France is such a nice place to visit if you speak French. Yeah. Honestly, people like always go like, "Oh, the French are so snooty." That's mostly just Paris. Like, fuck Parisians. But like, you know, like Provençal, Normandy, Breton, like all those places are very nice. What I want to do is I want to go to Central, like just because so first if you don't know, there's like a long diagonal strip of France called the I believe it's the Massif Central. Correct me if I'm wrong, Mel, but I want to explore that place because it seems so cool. And like historically, there wasn't a lot of occupation, like you know, human habitation there. So I'd love to see what the archaeology is like in there. Even Paris is nice if you speak French. Well, Yeah, like, don't get... Yes. But keep in mind, that's if you speak European French, because they're like, even discriminate against, at least Parisians, in my experience, discriminate even against Quebecois French speakers. Though there are no gaming terms for chat, as French uses chat, does it? See, so that's the other thing I find funny, though, is because European French gets like upset at Quebecois French, like jokingly most of the time, but I just realized these are APS, what the hell? And one of the things I always make fun of them for is that, like, European French has so many loanwords compared to Quebecois French. Because Quebecois French, in an effort to preserve their history and language, just said nuh-uh to any loanwords from English, and have literally just done everything with their own words. So like now that's how you end up with like lavage for laundry, right? Or which just translates to wash directly, or like chemise, which could mean any fucking article of clothing that goes in the upper body at this point. In chemise. Paris is trash in the whole situation. Yeah. Again, don't get me wrong. Paris isn't. It's a tourist trap, right? Like, I understand why people go to Paris. It's marketed that way. And I've never been to Europe. It's the only continent I've not been to is Europe and Antarctica. And I visited. I got this great. I like Paris. Yeah, I'm saying I understand why people like Paris. I just think if you want the real France experience, from my understanding, go to the other places, right? Because Paris is so tourist trappy. And there's non-touristy parts of Paris, I'm sure. Get the chopper, it's a nice place to get on the roads. It's like putting your arm in a bear trap. Okay, so the funny thing... okay, Melazar, I have to ask you. I was watching Top Gear clips. Is it true about, like, French parallel parking where, like, the French will use the bumper? Because I've heard before about, like, never put your parking brake on in France because it'll just destroy your car when people try to, like, bump it out of the way to get parallel parking. And it's interesting because French culture... City City I've been to, it looks exactly like it does in the movies. Get some crepes at my hometown. Oh, dude. I want to make I want to like make crepes now. It's so good. Ooh, I love the way these mantlets are done. Holy shit, Diesel. How did I never see this before? Someone remind me, I have to steal ideas from Diesel sometime. No about that, but you would be wasting your time looking for an undamaged car. What the fuck? I've never heard of that. Yeah, because, well, I assume it was just French slander, because, you know, British show, but, it was an interesting idea, because I was thinking about it, and because, you know, in France, like, the car culture isn't the same as, like, North America. Mantlets? Yeah, mantlets. These little parts here, where, for the barrel here. Because keep in mind, Svenno has very low-profile turrets, so it's really interesting to see, that's how he did that without, it adds a lot to the shape in just this little jutting up part here. You can see, like, you know, on the older style turrets, like over here, they're not as low profile because of it. Neato, yeah. Oh yeah, Coit, sorry. Coit, I always forget you're not an FDD player, so you probably don't know all the jargon. I apologize. Okay, so we got that part there. We can go there. I talk too much. I say I talk too much to Toady. I've watched too many of Toady's streams recently because her Canadianisms are starting to, like, come back in my speaking, I've noticed recently. Which is really funny. Alright, let's do that, maybe. Just have, like, one solid metal chunk that doesn't go over the free layer of metal rule, so we're fine. Does that look like too much? I don't think that looks like too much metal. I assume Corey will tell me if it does, though, and I'll force him to fix it. These turrets are pretty much just double-barrel plunderer turrets. Yeah. I can see that. Let's do that instead. I think I like that transitional piece a bit better, just because, like, this feels so rough, you know? And it kind of slopes around, which is nice, because we were already halfway to getting at the slope. Go. How wide does it slope around here? Because I'm trying to keep the proportions as similar as possible. So that's centerpiece. Do out. One offset. And then into a 4 meter. Okay. We did it, Corey. We built the Marlin. Alright, so that's the kind of shape we're going for here. And this is what I mean when I say build out your metal frame first when doing a deep water guard build. It'll just help you a lot with how you build. It goes to a solid beam and then another 4. Ooh, I don't like crinkling the metal there though. What if instead put it going straight back? And then just have it crinkle into the superstructure. We'll just modify that so it can just crinkle in instead of crinkling out like that. Actually no, maybe not. Well, we have offsets, let's use them. We have offsets, we have transition pieces now. Would you say that rebuilds is a good way to improve on faction building? I'd say so. So, you can watch my process here, because I'm trying to keep the style while modernizing it, right? So I have my reference art. Having reference art is probably the best way to get good at faction building. Because what I always tell people, and I used to be a lot meaner about this before I became a streamer, so that's actually one of the nicest about being a streamer, is I've become a lot nicer in my feedback, but I'd have so many people submit something, and they'd be like, yeah, is this Deep Water Guard? And I'm like, okay, did you compare it to a different design? And they're like, well, no. And I was like, okay, well, look at your design and then look at like the Kopesh and tell me if that looks similar, or if they look like they fit in the same faction. And in the meantime, they would have submitted like like just a wooden box, right? And I'm like, I was a lot meaner about it back then. I've gotten better at it since, but it's one of those things I always tell people. It's like, look at what you're trying to replicate, right? Diameter on the new munition defense, it works well. Hey, driver, welcome in. Guys will go in different directions, so it'll be fine with a big chunk of metal. That's what I'm saying. The other idea, too, is we could just make that all sloped. It seemed kind of weird to imagine. No, like, so, it's one of those things where I was dealing with this on, like, 5 times daily, so I was getting really annoyed with it. But, I also just had anger issues back then, I would say. I've gotten a lot better about controlling frustration and all that. I'll just do that straight back, I think. I'm loving the shape of how this is coming out so far. Excuse me. Yeah, let's just do it straight back, and then we'll have, open the doorway there. Crash out about my first Deep Water Guard Ashes build. I think I did crash out about your first Deep Water Guard Ashes build, didn't I, sir? I remember, actually, I don't remember much of your earlier stuff. I remember Tuesdak's earlier stuff. Oh my god, there was some stuff that Tuesdak did early on. Tuesdak has become a wonderful builder since, but I remember, like, before streaming, like, back when I just got in Kodal, every time I saw a Tuesdak build, I'd be like, what the fuck is this? And then there's a few other people who are members of chat now where I'm like, wow, you guys have come a long way. That's incredible. Okay, I see how it matches up there, but I'm not a fan of that, so we're not going to do that. And again, that's the important part too, is like, if you're trying to rebuild something like this, where you're keeping the same form factor, but you're just updating it, you have to know where and when to change said form factor. That's another really important part as well. Like, knowing what to modify and what to keep is just as important as knowing how to modify, I would argue. Like, so for example, right there, I did that wrong, actually. Whoopsie. Alright. It was a joke build, to be honest. Crash out, well, we say crash out nowadays. Back then, it would have just been like, oh, come on, what is this? But, and that's not, for the record, that's not to, like, make fun of Tuesdak. I genuinely think Tuesdak and a lot of you have become significantly better builders since I've started streaming. And like that, I'm not crediting that me. I'm just saying like a lot of y'all have put the work in, and it's very, very nice to see. Okay, I see how that works. So the turret runs a little bit angled forward. I love that. That's so cool. Stealing that. See, again, Sveno style blends so seamlessly. That's why I haven't done a Sveno style build yet. It's like I've never had my builds blend like this. I love having like separate parts. So this is actually such a fun experience. Knowing what to modify and how to modify it are so inseparable into my mind, but I just think of them as two sides of the same coin. Yeah. But it really is, wasn't it? I wonder how I kind of set the roast and roast got cooked so bad for questioning my whole skill at the game. Oh no! He is like that? I do be like that, yes. Trust it was bad? I'll trust you. Send it in sometime, I'd love to see it. Yeah, the rectangle. I want to see early mid 2024 roar. Shame there's no VOD for a much older stream. I think the oldest stream VODs go back to July. I think that's when I started doing a like July of 2024, or maybe it was September. And like even no, I'm saying like even this time last year, I'd still had the experience from because like I you know like when I started working professionally is when I changed a lot of my attitude towards stuff. I'm talking like 2022 roasting. Like if you go back far enough in OFTD, you'll see like some of my messages to people. That's what I'm talking about. Squidbeard, make it lurk. So probably gonna get cut because the shaping is painfully mid, but the interior is nice. Honestly, keep in mind, I will say, submit designs you're currently working on. That's usually better than like if you get like if you're working on something and you've just got a part done, submit that and ask for opinions there. That's a lot easier to educate about than if you send it a design from like 2014 and you go, oh, I don't build like this anymore. It's like, okay, then what feedback am I supposed to give? Like, so I like roast and bros to be educational, not just me being silly roasting people, right? I will be silly and roast people, don't get me wrong, but I do like there to be a reason at least. God, I love the way Style does turret runs and all that. It's so peak. It's so peak. Alright, 4, 2, 2, 1, 2, 1. And then just circle, okay. Well, we can get the turret runs in at least. Alright, we are in an ad break, so I'm actually going to take a quick little break myself and go use the washroom. I'll be right back. Alrighty, we are back. And Syrup, to answer your question, yes, I do actually remember that build. Dear Gord. Just remember the first time I watched Roy's PFP was Mason. Oh god, what? That would have been December, I think. That's when I promised M that I would have Maidstone for an entire month. Was that January or December? How long have you been following for, actually? I want to say December. I tend to remember most folks. Yeah, it was the 9th of December. Let's go. I was right. I tend to remember when most folks enter the community, which is really interesting. Helps that we also have the followage ability. It was dire times. I understand. Alrighty. Back into the game, shall we? Okay, it was 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 2. Wait, that's how it looked earlier? I'm hoping this is how it's supposed to be. Because if not, rip us. That's the other thing too, is I need to start working on, like, not perfectly symmetrical turret rims. Like, you know, like front-loaded versus back-loaded. 1 year, 3 months. Hey, let's go! 1 year, 2 months. You started the build with what makes the identity of Marlin, the unique entrance? Yep. I want to use this for depth charge roll off, and then we'll have a second depth charge turret down here. Because this is supposed to be a submarine killer. Which means these can probably be... Ooh, I could keep them as interceptors, or I could put them as... I'm going to replace these little APS with interceptors, I think, and then have these as like sonar buoys. Yeah, I want to have some roll-off depth charges, the depth charge turret down below, we'll have some missed-out interceptors, and then we'll have the main guns. Yeah, damn, over a year ago. Yeah, I know, right? It's a very drunk circle. Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I want to do more turret runs like this, that are like modeled more after the turret. I think that's a really cool concept. Alright, yeah. I think right here. Ah, damn. There we go. I think right there is where I want the turret well to be. Alright, and this will make it a little bit better armored than how it was before, I think. Did I cut off the second you started reading the message so I didn't hear anything? Oh, I was just saying how I want to use the little Porsche there at the front as a depth charge roller. I know right now it's a cargo entrance point, but I want it as a depth charge roll-off platform. Having interceptors in that turret can also look neat. Yeah, we're going to be having interceptors on the side turrets instead of those side APSs. And then the top can be a Sea-Wiz, and then crams plus APS. Maybe super cabbed APS if I can get away with it, because it's technically a dedicated sub-killer. But we'll see. 3x3, spacious for the turret neck, yeah. I normally do 3x3 turret neck so I can have some armor in the turret neck. That's how it was built, at least. And then probably... Let me get my little template out here. Probably 7x7 Tetris, which is going to be unfortunate for Cram, but... We'll see. That is double-barreled Cram, right? Well, at least it'll be 3D Cram, so it'll be better than this. Yeah, that's 5x5. I'm gonna message Diesel, ask if I can, what's the difficulty for the Marlin is intended to be? Marlin diff? Okay. Hit him with the question mark right afterwards. Double pin that motherfucker. You're allowed to use sub vehicles. You can have the sub detection on a little buoy that gets dropped off at the back. I could do that, or I could just use a sonar buoy and call it a day. Let's watch the video ragging on this type of 2D Tetris. So I think I put out 2D Tetris is perfectly serviceable. It's a very simple way of doing crams, and there's nothing wrong with it. 3D Tetris is quote-unquote optimal, but I do think there's, like, you know, some areas where 2D is fine. I understand why people rag on it, though, because I find a lot of people in this game are obsessed with having, like, the most optimized design. And I'm like, yeah, sure, go for it, but... Okay, cheating, you're supposed to build them as big as you want them and then suffer for it. No, see, I've always built the guns last, which people always go like, that's wild to me, but it's like, no, because, you know, I build for form over function, right? And like, even when I'm building for function, I'm like, alright, I want to at least have this area dedicated to this amount, then. I kind of hate that up here is flush, but down here isn't. So I'm gonna change that. Like I said, we have the transition blocks now, so there's quite a bit more we can do with the design. You just talk about how you should put the packers on the outside of the pellets. Interesting. Who made the video? I'm curious. Do you remember who it was by? Then we want the shift 4 meter. Okay, no, I want this to be here, and then we'll make the metal the 2 to 4 meter. There we go. 'Cause that's theoretically how it looks right now, yeah? Yeah, then we modify that to be the 2 to 4 meter. Also, oh my god, what is this music right now? This is gorgeous. What's this song? It's from Act 2, okay. There we go. Yeah, I think that looks a little bit better. Then is the back streamlined, or is it flushed out as well? It's flushed out as well, okay, huge. Sorry, I'm going to be doing a lot of reviews and like small modifications like this as we go along. It's just part of the building process for me. Make a collab channel with Borderwise, call it Rotorwise. Borderwise? Yeah. And like, don't get me wrong, Borderwise isn't wrong. Like, Tetris meta is cross Tetris, but I don't know enough about it. I've never seen cross Tetris, I'd have to look at that. So like, don't get me wrong. Also, I already collab with Borderwise. He and I have some events planned for next month, which will be fun. The opposite of Borderwise is Inland Pool. True. Frontier Fool would be really funny, though. My favorite one is Perimeter Intelligence for Borderwise, but yeah. No, B-Dubs and I have some plans. And now that I know that he plays Command & Conquer, we're gonna have a lot more plans, because I will steal him for some Command & Conquer collabs sometime this week. Or sometimes next week, sorry, not this week. This week I'm busy, but... Marlin Seabass is placed in a way that makes it unable to fire any projectile that is lower altitude than the Marlin. Yeah, that makes sense. Honestly, could just swap the location of the bottom missile turret and the Seabass. If it's a sub-hunter, that actually makes a lot of sense. Have the Seabass on the bottom, then have the sub-interceptors on the top, because they can fly around. But then having free missile turrets up top would look a little bit unbalanced, I think. Unless we turn these into canted launchers, which could work. I don't know, we'll have to think about that one. We will have to think about that one. Kinetic Super Cav? No. No, it cannot be. Deep-water guards not allowed pure kinetic shells? And I don't even think they're allowed Super Cav. I'll have to look at the rules again. Maybe I have missile launchers like the anti-sub rocket launchers? Maybe. The Cram Farmer will be most pleased with the CNC General Seer Hour collab. Oh, will he? I was uninformed of this. I haven't actually talked to him about it yet. Is he live right now? Borderwise should be live right now. He's playing Planet Tormentscape, isn't he? No, he's not live yet. Damn. Alright, well, when he goes live, we'll have to raid into him and ask him. For the record, I'm friends with Borderwise. That's the only reason I'm saying raid in and ask for collab plans. If it was someone I didn't know as well, I'd be like, don't raid in just to ask for collab plans. That's mean. But Borderwise, I actually know decently well, so. And it's really fun, because I gotta tell him constantly about it's like, you know, like, I grew up watching you, Borderwise. Isn't that cool? And he goes, don't save it. I already feel so old. And I'm like, no, you're fine, Borderwise. It is genuinely one of my favorite pastimes, is just to remind Borderwise how old he is. I am not a nice person. Alright, metal. Oh, I love the way they frame the metal like that. So, 4. Oh, sorry, love this song as well. Why is... I don't know, life has been good lately. Go. Get that in there. And then... So see, this is something we could very easily redo in the rebuild, is make these actually decoed out to be 2 meters long. You'll love to see it. Actually, no pure non-hollow point AP unless it's a special animation. Interesting. I'll have to talk to Paphos and Diesel about it in terms of the shell, just because I want to make sure we are keeping it street legal. But if we can get away with being silly, I would like to be silly. do that right. I did, you'll love to see it. Also, this song is so good, I've never heard this one, just the little tick-tock in the background. How's Sinnoh style do the rest of this? Just one band around, and then, like, yeah, the metal down here, for example, I can clean up quite a bit. Or clean up in here as well. Yeah, it's getting to this bottom shape where it's going to be a little bit more difficult to modernize design. Skype, welcome in, how's it going? Oh, there's actually people streaming this, of course. I stream every Monday, Friday for it. I was gonna say, what's with the... Did another big YouTuber make a video about FTD? Because I feel like we've gotten 3 new people today. Also, look at all the faction rules that are individual builds somewhere, like no raid off of Deepwater Guard. Yeah, it's in Deepwater Guard War channel on OFTD. Ben, we're close to 2040, even 2010. Don't say that. Why would you say that? Oh, big stretch there. Even rare, yeah. It's a VTuber streaming it, true. I think I'm still... Oh, I'm not, because I know Stren is technically an FTD VTuber now with how much I've gotten him into the game. Gorlaf is streaming RimWorld right now, but usually streams FTD around this time. Borderwise obviously streams FTD most weeks. Eric doesn't stream anymore, sadly, but he and I just prepped a podcast, which would be fun. Can't reveal much more about that, though, until Eric reveals it. That's Eric from Gmodism, for those of you wondering. And then Lafrix doesn't really play much FTD at the moment, as far as I'm aware, but also Lafrix has real-life stuff going on, so...
Ruston,
yeah,
I have a message from the field. Crazy. I was crazy once. They locked me in a room.
Yeah?
A rubber room. A rubber room with rats. And rats make me crazy.
They sure do, bud. Alright, that's enough out of you, Worston. The Everest have guidelines for Phoenix watching you to go to the server, and LH only covers a few styles. Yeah, that's why I'm doing the video style stuff. Because I'm kind of tired of like, that's the whole reason I did the videos is because I know of how dispersed the lore is for it. So once I have the Deepwater Guard playlist done, I'm going to put that as a one fin in the lore fin, and then Onyx Watch playlist will be in the Onyx Watch lore. I miss Roboz's FTD videos. He was the guy who introduced me to this. Same. Roboz's first... I remember I watched Roboz's first video on FTD, and I bought the game that day. Roboz also got me into KSP and a bunch of other games, too. I miss Roboz in general. I know he still streams, but it's not the same vibe as the old videos were. But also, maybe I'm just nostalgic for that time, right? Because I was 13 when I watched Roboz the first time, because it was in 2013. It was Mart for me, but like the first Mart video, so KSP is so much fun. It is, isn't it? Yeah, Mart's also a great YouTuber. Like, I've been watching so many YouTube series lately, just trying to find ideas for editing and be like, all right, what could I, like, how should I do this and that, right? Pilkington Fleet must return. I aspire to build a nice fleet like his. Well, you're in the right place then. Stick around and I can teach you how to do that. I have been campaign building since 2014. I've been in charge of the land campaign since 2022. Rosefalls won't maybe play Robocraft and From the Depths proper. Nice. Who's Roboz? Swedish YouTuber who used to do a lot of FTD. Like playing KSP with the real sources mod, it's challenging but fun. Oh, that does sound fun. Yeah, so when are you gonna finish the float crane? When are you gonna start a build, Neko? When are you gonna boot up the game, Neko? Shut the fuck up. I was kidnapped into FTD by Laugh's Onyx Watch campaign? Nice. Because the other people who got me into FTD were the Budkai, Enter Elysium, Avac, or Avic. Who else was there that used to do FTD a lot? Because I always considered Avac and Enter Elysium and Laughlin to all be the same tier. I think Enter Elysium quit YouTube and only does streaming now. And then, I have to look into where Enter Elysium went up. I know Budkai stopped because he got a job, and then he put on Steam in 2022, and he was coming back, and then I haven't seen anything from him since. Which honestly, I respect that. FD is hard to make content for. Because, like, it's very low views unless you're doing something right, which I got lucky with the amount of views I get on my FTD content. It's insane how much I get compared to the average FTD person. And then, what else is there? I think the three main FTD people nowadays on YouTube are me, Gmodism, and Borderwise. Because Lafrix is like more of a Stellaris channel most of the time. And then Martin Cedo Pants is a variety, not really FTT dedicated. But I think in terms of dedicated YouTubers, I might be forgetting one. You have any plans to play Adventure Randomizer? Yes, once it's a little bit more fleshed out. Played it once for an hour. You played it 10 years. Never was to finish a build. I literally have a folder called completed builds. Well, I have multiple confirmed completed builds. I got the Tributary, the Elephant, the Selkie, and the Freebooter. Just for my own personal campaign of Deep Water card only. Urban only required one for the Delta V to orbit. Earth does. Make the game more accessible, but I like the challenge, the more realistic planet sizes. Yeah, that's cool. Alright, let's work on getting down here a little bit more accessible for our boys. So what if we made this one, actually? Come out like this, and then that would mean you... like this. There we go. And that would just look a little bit better, I feel, in terms of transitioning over to this design here. As you can see here, it goes to, and then it has that weird like jut and angle there, which I'd like to not have. So I'm quite happy with that, actually. Alright. No, did I mess up my alt down? Oh no, I didn't. Okay, good. Still centered. Spadesi will kill me if it's not centered. GT only has warfare, make that SD not cheating. Now, do you have a build you fully made yourself? I don't know, because I enjoy multiplayer in this game, right? Like, I enjoy working collaboratively with people, because it gets better builds. The Selkie, I did most of the Selkie myself. The original Selkie was 100% me, and then I think I gave it the core just for a few deco upgrades later. But he needs to think, well, yeah, I'm sorry I'm sorry, chat, but I have friends who play the game and help me be a better builder, right? My bad, chat. The Kopesh I did mostly myself. I had a little bit of help from Spadisi, and then Potat helped me with the gun at the time, but most of the, the deco work and all that on the Kopesh is most, I never sent it to anyone to get finalized. And then, look like airships? Yes, these are airships. I'm building in Sveno style right now, which is the most recent video I released over on my YouTube channel. Because normally I like to build something on stream and then release the video for it, but I did it the opposite direction this time because I wanted to get Sveno out. Same with Fitzgerald. Oh, the Sirocco! I did the Sirocco by myself as well. This little guy, but I did put a Fitzgerald video for the fighter cockpit area. Like when we're playing Freebird and the montage. This one is 100% me. What's your favorite Deep Water Guard ship? That is a great question. I think it has to be... excluding ones I've built myself. These streamers have white YouTube channels? Preposterous. They exist in the site alone, isn't it? Honestly, that's how it was for the longest time. It's only like since... I've done a little sparse YouTube content, but it's only really been since June that I've dedicated to YouTube. I have 2 shorts a week, and then I've been trying to get main videos out once a week, but it's hard because of how much editing I do. So I just say those come out when they're done. I love that Freebird bit. It's so funny. If the Sirocco was just a legally different Duster, it's literally just a straight upgrade to the Duster. That was the point of it. First I had the Sinner's Luck and Tug of War. Oh, see, I told you, chat. There's someone out here who loves the Tug of War, but I hate it. The Vanguard I built, or I rebuilt. So I can't pick that one. Honestly, I think mine has to be the Patchwork. I love Riker style. I very rarely get to build it because it's so complex. But I genuinely love the Patchwork. I love the Kalmar, just conceptually, being a Marauder, or a Moray that was blown up. Marauder is also solid just because you can convert it into so many different fins. Coyote I recently touched up, I didn't do much else. Panjandrum needs a rebuild as well. I think there's a bounty out on it right now, but I don't want to. I'm too tired. Oh, Tortuga. I need to rebuild the Tortuga still as well. Let's Learn how to write a style guide so I can actually make bounties for my faction. Honestly, just copy what I've done for Deepwater Guard. So like the ones that Paphos put in Deepwater Guard War, I wrote all those out and then Paphos just consolidated them. Or look at my custom campaign and the way I do style guides there. That tends to be enough. Because the issue with a style guide is you don't want to make it too specific, because then nobody will be able to build anything unique. But you don't want to make it too vague, because then nobody will build anything correctly. The Abactor is really neat. Yeah, I like it. Wasn't the Walrus made with robots in mind? Or did he make it? No, he didn't make it. The Walrus was just a cargo ship. At least, so I was there during the forum days. As far back as I can remember, the Walrus had... Oh, I forgot. Yeah, Paphos updated the Walrus. I forgot about that. I do quite like the new Walrus. It's very Goldwater. Like, I completely forgot we updated it. That looks so good. I love that brown turret. I gotta steal that sometime. And then the white bottom hull for the riverboats that Goldwater has. Very nice, very nice. I completely forgot we updated this. Wish I could reply to that guy comment, but my YouTube account has a real name attached to it. Fair enough. Well, to be fair, Emperor, you know, you could reply and just not mention it's you from Twitch. But I do love that, I believe his name is Jovian something. But it's so funny because Jovian's like, oh yes, the Twitch only guy is my favorite chatter, and then the Twitch only Emperor Lee and Twitch only is like, ah yes, the YouTube only guy is my favorite commenter. It really feels like that one meme where it's like, you know, Arnold Schwarzenegger and the other guy like clasping hands. I use the same alias for every social media. Same. I've had Rorston as a username on everything since 2015. So most of the time, if you see Rorston as an account, it's probably mine. That being said, I have noticed that other people have started, like, I'm not saying started using it, but I've noticed that, like, because, you know, like, there's a lot of variations of Torsten and whatnot that people get confused for. So I'm sad now, because not every Rorston and Torsten is my account. Becoming a micro-celebrity. Just to make a second one, I have a second account. Yeah, so I have 3 accounts on YouTube. I have Rorston BT, I have Rorston VODs, and then I have my personal account. So my personal account is where I watch YouTube, and then BT and my VODs channel I use for uploading. And it's also really fun because all 3 of those accounts have different algorithms. So like if I'm feeling something different that day, I just switch accounts and then I have a new algorithm. It's so nice. Same with my IRL name on YouTube. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, there's definitely some of you who have the same PFP on Twitch as you do on YouTube. So like when I get the notification that someone has subscribed, I'm like, oh cool. I now just know that person's real name. That's great. that's splendid. I just have to do like I pretend I do not see whenever people use their real names on YouTube. Alright, back to the Marlin hymn. Alright, speaking of YouTube, the latest Baron of the North. Nice! Thanks for the help with that. Hell yeah, I'm glad it popped off. No, of course, I'm down to help. Like, so my biggest fin with FTD content creation is I am willing to help anyone who puts in the effort. I've had a few people who wanted to stream FTD that came to me, asked questions, I helped them, and then they got really mad at me when they didn't pop off, and I was like, yeah, well, you're not going to pop off after one video. Like, you gotta, you know, you gotta be consistent. And it's just one of those things where, you know, people who are consistent and stick at it will do well, and people who don't, won't. You know what I mean? It's just the sad reality of YouTube. Okay, that's the moray. On one hand, I want to smooth out the front from the balcony. On the other hand, I kind of like the balcony being, like, unsmoothed. Keep it unsmoothed for now. Wait, how was that done? Home? Goes in like that. And then, okay, that goes in significantly, I see. I guess, yeah, that makes sense, because you're trying to emulate a balcony on top of what the hull would look like if there was no balcony. Go. Okay, there we go. That makes sense. Sorry, the shaping with Senno style is so difficult for me, which is why I do it, because I like learning new skills. So that should come out. Okay, that's a little bit wider, but you know what? I think I'm okay with having it a little bit wider, actually. Make the snoot a little bit bigger, right? Maybe integrate the balcony and the heat deco mustache. I'm probably gonna remove the heat deco mustache, honestly. And then just put the heat decos at the top of the sails, like a normal person would. Though I was, no, I'll put it at the heat cell. I was gonna say, the heat deco mustache is interesting, but I don't think we need it. Just search on that day, piece to die. Nice. Yeah, I don't allow links in chat. You can put it in... Probably put it in the Discord now. You should be level 5 by now if Anthropologist roll. Post it in the Discord? Yeah. Once again, M-Freely excluded from Discord, sadly, because they refused to get an account. I do love how much of that joke has grown now. That is too far back, actually. Wait 1 second. Why is that so far back? Did I make my... Excuse me, did I make my balcony too long? I think I made my balcony too long. Alright, well, I'm only 1 off, so I'm just gonna change it over here then, I guess. I don't feel like redoing the entire balcony. There we go, that works. Yeah, okay, that makes more sense. Okay, we're fine. We made it. I know I need to... That's 4, okay. And then that's 4 into a metal 1 to 2 meter transition. For those of you who didn't see the way it was set up. There we go. Alrighty. That works. Hey, Skypem, welcome to the assemblage. In the showcase channel? Nice. Discordagation. Look, Emprey, just get a Discord account. Join in for community game nights. Yeah, and then we just blend that front ram and that'll look a lot more integrated. I'm pretty happy with that. Also, what is this music? This is going hard. God, there's so much of the OST I haven't listened to yet. Alright, how do... I've never done a red ram like this before. Is it just that shrimple? I think it might just be that shrimple, chat. That's 1, 2, 3 offsets, and then you appear like this. And is this the right red ram red? Color green. That is in fact the right ram red. Yeah, imagine being Quarry and messing that up on the albacore. Couldn't be me, because I double-checked my RAM colors. Thank you for the care package, Skype, I appreciate it. I will take a sip of water, I will save my craft, and I will stretch. So many blocks. So does exhaust have to leave the ship, and if not, what happens? So, the way exhaust works is that it needs to be considered to the exterior of the ship, or I believe 8 blocks away, kind of like jets. Or is it 12 blocks? One is 12, one is 8. Or they could have changed it. I actually don't know. I'll check Evidence DLC. I need to play Bioshock again. I have the entire series, never finished it because it scared the shit out of me as a kid. Like, Infinite's the one I've played most of. But I never finished Infinite, sadly. Alright, so I want those red rams. Is that 1 forward, or is that still... Okay, it's still consistent. I love the way Sinnoh style is. It's so cool. And then that's top-down symmetrical. Okay, nice. Yep. The way where you go to Paris, Infinite is really good. It's up there with Nier Automata, though. The story is excellent. Oh, okay, good. Yeah, I love Nier Automata. And Replicant. Has to be not blocked at all. Oh, they may have changed that then. And that is my one issue of, like, I need to actually sit down and, like, catch up on all the updates, because a lot of my knowledge is still from, like, 2016, 2014 era, which I need to really get updated on. Because quite a bit of stuff has changed since then. Let's try and keep the same RAM style, but I want to have it a bit more integrated with just that little stash there. There we go. I think that will work for now. Okay. So we'll figure out how we integrate those a little bit better later. Maybe I can just use some chains going across the side for them from the metal. That way it's not just flat metal connection. Sometimes in the robot's videos it warned that the exhaust did not leave ship, and I wondered if it mattered because the ship still went. Yeah, it just reduces the cylinder efficiency, and it has a chance of overheating. Which can cause explosions, as I found out recently. Hey, Fluffy! Long time no see, how you been? Also just ever cool enough, that's true. Like, I use radiators most of the time. Okay. Ugh. There we go. Got that down there. See how that's done. I don't want that area for a jet engine. Interesting. I don't like this big flat area back here. I might replace this with a 3x3 duct, honestly. I think that would make the most sense. No, because that's not gonna... You know what we'll do? Okay, I know what we'll do. Because it's even width, we'll do 2 metal ducts. I kind of wish we had 2x2 ducts. Which is really funny, because I have constantly made fun of people who always ask for this, and I'm like, you don't need that. And then now I'm sitting here going like, fuck, I do need that. My own hubris has once again defeated me. Yeah, and then we can deco this with some oblique and get some chain work in there to make it look like the ramps are wrapped on. Hello, but their explosions likely. The explosions aren't likely, but I have had a cylinder explode at least once. Radiators are nice for aesthetics because you don't have the visual exhaust. See, I like visible exhaust on a lot of my stuff. Like, I purposely put smokestacks, right? Finals soon. Presentations on Sunday. You got this, Fluffy. Guitar history going well. Oh yeah, we've talked about guitar history before. The history of guitar. I still haven't learned much more. I need to learn more about it. The Middle East is something like... I know, like, the classical period history, right? I don't know the modern history since 1920 of the Middle East. It's imperative that the inside of the cylinder must not be damaged. That's incredible. What does hubris mean? It means, pride. So, like, vanity, pride. I'm pretty sure, hubris comes from French. You control where it is and what it looks like, such as with a smoke generator. Exhaust doesn't let you configure it like a smoke generator does. That's true. I'll send you some of the lectures. Honestly, put it in the archaeology chat in the Discord. It'd be really interesting to read. If they are your lectures, though, just be careful not to dox yourself, of course. But yeah, if you want to share like course material with us, that'd be really interesting to see. Yeah, I think we'd do something like this for down here instead of just having just the slope. think this will, and then we can deco this over with whatever material we want, probably metal. I think this is gonna look really nice. It will look real nice when it's done. And wall will grow large. Yeah, and that breaks up that shape quite a bit too, honestly. Let's go so far as to even say, what if we, like, move it up to here, you know? And same with over here. Well, that one's probably gonna have to be decoed, actually. Just because it's half, let's put there, like, half-wise, right? So, you there. We'll see how we deco that in the future. And I talk about this quite often in Raw Roast, though, where I'm saying, like, always have your, like, jet engines ducted and out from the main craft. It'll just make it look better. Because, you know, you want them to look extra armored. Maybe just at the top and bottom and didn't connect it. You mean like this? Yeah, we could do that. Like, it's possible. I don't know if I like it, though. When do you want the history? 1990, 1980, 1971? It's up to you. It's like, if you want, yeah, like I said, the archaeology chat is really there just if people want to, you know, share history stuff, like. Well, if we're not going to connect them, then we might as well get rid of these decos.
Rustin, I have a message from the field, Awawa.
So true. Apology Frog, how's it going? Good to see you. Come in here. Then we'll figure out where we connect that to, I think. It kind of just connects into some metal here. Put a metal band there. So, could be interesting. Because, like, let's say we do this, right? Would theoretically do that, and then just have a 1 meter to half meter transition there. Would be an idea. Actually, I don't think we would be able to do that, no, because that's horizontal transition. That wouldn't work. Vertical transition here. Ah, well. We'll take off the applique idea for now. We'll just leave it up to, like, the original. Just so it's not as, out there, right? That could be a quarry problem for later, honestly. You're welcome, Corey. You've been given, more workload. You love building Senno style. You did it for so long on the Albacore, right, Corey? That's the only reason you'd work so long on the Albacore is because you love Senno style. It's okay if I sent a PPT, a PowerPoint? Yeah, sure. And I have donuts and seen a plane in about an hour. Ooh, nice. Awa? Is that a Pluto reference? No, awa. Because, I don't know. It's just something in the community that people say. And I got saying it, it's really funny when I say it, I guess, because there's someone who's called, like, Artemis, and every time they come into the chat, I always pronounce it, instead of just calling them Artemis. It's just really funny. Not sure how I feel about that applique not lining up with the metal. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, right? So, we'll figure it out. I can always just deco the applique into a metal later if I need to as well. I really don't mind. It's not something to get caught up on right now. Especially when we still have the general shaping of the craft to go. Oh, sorry, I'm sleepy today. Okay. Then this metal down here, we're gonna have to break up, I think. Let's put you in there. Oh, curious. Okay. Peculiar, even. Okay, so you actually come out here like this, I believe? Let me take a look at you. Yeah, you do, okay. You do this. And you do this. I think that part we keep metal. And then we're gonna have to split up some of it into wood. Should be complaining, I just make metal rectangle. Hey, for the record, you can still critique something even if you're not, like, you know, I'm not gonna be like, oh, like, why don't you do it then, right? Sometimes I will be if people are being asinine about it, gravitas. But, for the most part, like, if you have a suggestion, just say it, you know, just run with it. And then I can either tell you, like, oh yeah, maybe, or, because sometimes, you know, someone in chat saying something will actually give me an idea as well, right? So, don't be afraid to talk about stuff. Oh no, I was right, that is just... Oh, I see what happened. Okay, I see what I did wrong there. And this back here just needs to be a metal beam. Right. Okay. There we go. Yeah, I feel like we're definitely gonna need some applique up here. Just to break up that flat metal sides. There we go. Okay. And do you ever say stuff if I know I'm right? That's not true, Grift. No, I'm mostly being silly, don't I? There is some days where you come off as confidently incorrect, but we all have those days. Right, let's actually get these in here as well. It's a 0.5. Copy all. Paste mirror. Paste mirror. You eat gruel, it doesn't mean you can't criticize a fancy caviar. Exactly. Also, what an incredible analogy, saying gruel. How about you delete every single craft bot? It's not sure how I feel about the applique on the first rib, since it doesn't texture max with the middle and the rib behind it. I deco to be metal. Well, yeah. Azusa? That's like saying, actually, I'm not sure how I feel about the rear being incomplete. I would complete it. Like, yeah, you're right. I would also complete the rear. I would also deco match the metal on the applique. I haven't got that far. You know what I mean? Like, I can only work on one part at a time, chat. Oh, you're gonna deco it. Okay, that's right. Yeah. No, so I build skeleton first, then I build I build out as I go, right? And then sometimes I get distracted with deco, but no. Until I say a build is done, it's very silly to assume something's finished. Because I will constantly touch up different areas. I'm like incredibly neurotic about it, it's a problem. But alright. Let's get this guy now. Wrong way. I didn't know, no worries. Let's do this, and then this is going to make you go really far, both 2D and 3D. True. This, and I think we have one here. We've done the project immediately. So true. Why didn't I consider that? Why didn't I just consider just finishing the build today? You know what I mean? Oh, it was a jet engine. It's okay. In that case, actually, I'll sink them down one and put some ducts there. And that means what we can also do is something like this. Oh, what? Real. Yeah, it's too far, obviously. There we go, that works. It's gonna be a little bit... Oh, that's actually gonna annoy me. You know what, it's fine, I'm gonna ignore that. I can just deco the ever part to be like a little thin strip of metal there later. Just climbed down a very steep and slippery cliff, and I saw a body to show my way down. Oh no! I'm beacon of wisdom and never goofs or jokes. Alright, there we go. I like the way that metal integrates there. And then it just comes back into this area here, which is fine. Oh, we could just make that all metal. Yeah, I think we just make that all metal, cap it off. God, the leave with mirror is so nice, honestly. And the other nice thing about that is it means we don't have to deal with the damn square corner wood issue. There we go. What we do up here is square corner. Then down here we'll have to make into some wood, I think. There we go. Yeah, so down here-ish, around these jets, we'll have to work in some wood down there, just to make that make sense a bit more. Alrighty. You're not hear from me, I probably slipped. Alright, be careful. Never slipping is cringe. You wouldn't want to be cringe, would you? And actually, in here, what we can do as well is we can... That work? I'll worry about that later. Okie dokie. So this continues all the way into the turret ring, and then it just kind of, excuse me, isn't flush over here, which is really annoying, so let's make that flush. I believe we need to do something like this. This theoretically comes all the way back. There we go. You can see how that being flush is a little bit better than not being flush. And over here. Oh, ayo. Actually, let's keep that as metal. Down here, we want this to be that. And that's where the issue arises. Okay. So we actually are going to need this to become the flush part, then. Similar to what we did down here, right? It's going to be curious, to say the least. Let's try this. The other thing I was thinking of is maybe we do something like this, but then end up with this being weird. Yeah, no. That also messes up our little turret bit as well. Alright, this is where the fun begins, chat, because now we get to have the fun goal of making this flush. Oh, good heavens. Okay. Is that all good, though? Oh, no! I specifically requested you be careful. Skeleton inside every one of us. Make sure you don't let it out. True. Ooh, rounded and funky. Yeah, that's Senno style. I'm looking at volume so far. Aiming for about 8K volume. 8K is a maximum, 7.5K is preferable, because if I can keep this without power creeping it, I'd be quite happy. Well, without power creeping, I say I'm gonna, like, you know, make the weapons actually work. And all that. But, you know what I mean. Then maybe, honestly, for that front bit, we just, I think we keep the Seaways on top, and we just make it have a little bit more depression. Hey, Paphos, how's it going? I'm working on the Marlin rebuild right now for Diesel. Because Diesel gave me his stockpile for the Senno video, so I promised him I would get the Marlin done in a reasonable time frame. The Grarlin, true. Okay. Hello there. 5 years is a reasonable time frame, Roar. No, it's not. I want to get this done hopefully by the end of August at the latest. Probably end of July, honestly, though, because it's the 25th. That gives me 6 days to get this done. That's... You have to decide on weapon systems yet, have you? I have a mandate for you. Diesel already decided. I was going to keep the side armaments the same. Keep the Seaways. Replace these with missile interceptors. And replace interceptors down here with depth charges, and then also have some roll-off depth charges from the front platform. And then tonight, when I'm laying in bed, I can hear the skeleton whispering and asking for release from its meaty prison. I cannot let it end. Consequences would be terrible. Every day would be Halloween. Those whispers are actually just M. A good friend of mine, M, PNG Tuber. I supposedly do not know what she's got, so I don't know how to describe her to you guys, but very good friend of mine. So you could have a big frag cramp? Absolutely not. What are you smoking, Paphos? This guy's the dedicated anti-submarine vehicle. But Paphos, while you're here, am I allowed super cavitation rounds for the APS? Yeah, an easy diff. Well, yeah, so... I'm not giving it a big frag cramp, no. Diesel wants... I assume Diesel wanted it as similar as possible to the old one, so... And I don't want to change it too much in terms of its role. Cram depth charge, my god. Just have time to fuse. So that when it hits the top of the water and then the frags just burst forward out. You stole a balloon! Yeah, on free balloon day. Cram has altitude fuse? Oh, that could actually work. Okay, cram depth charges could actually work then. I forgot about they have altitude fuse. That might actually be an idea. We'll see where I'm at, because in terms of, like, firepower, I want to keep it around, like, 78, 75-ish. And then same with volume, I want to keep it around 7,500. I'll consider it, Mr. Foes. Alright, Sabo EMP. That part there, which is good. I'm safe now? Hell yeah. Let's work our way back as well while we're here. That's all metal. God, we gotta change up some of these metal areas. Like, over here, for example. Maybe I'll retexture it later if I have to. Let's just get it shaped out first. So, from this little walkway here, we go over with the wood. Turret kind of melds into the balcony, which I like. You get some interesting shot traps here. Very peculiar. That needs to be metal there. What time is it? Okay, we got 30 minutes until roasts. Then I'm free. Alright. Oh, also Paphos, have you seen the Sveno style video yet? I'm curious. There, I thought so. I have not. Ah, you should. You'd learn how to build Sveno style. Smile. Clueless emote. You should learn how to build Sveno style now. I did have it fact checked by real Diesel Patriot, or real Sveno Patriots, also known as Diesel. David Vehicle, thank you, Inari. How's it going, Inari? Long time no see. Oh, chat, you know what this means? We get a new folder for the Marlin. Fine addition to my collection. Also, poor Vanguard. Vanguard didn't get a folder because he was a one-day build. Shot traps are World War II propaganda. Yeah, true, they're not real. Alrighty. Yeah, I don't think the big cram frag is gonna work. I think I just keep the current layout and go depth charges like Diesel requested. It's not much, we're just working on a Marlin rebuild. And then if I just, well, yeah, so we're gonna, yeah, I'm gonna go up to 8K volume instead of 7.5K. I don't think Diesel gave me a limit, but I want to keep it as close to the original as possible. And that's just so I can fill in the interior. Little depth charge guy? Yeah, that's the plan. Nice, I'm just chilling? Hell yeah. Oh, I was gonna say, can you go... No, I don't know if you're in the Discord right now, but I was gonna say, go in there and could you rotate Bone, please? I know Bone's just in there, lurking. Actually, what is the... Oh, the Discord's playing 7 Days to Die right now, nice. No! Rory, the old Marlin is stanky. I don't know, I think, like, there's obviously a lot wrong with it, but in terms of concept, it's fine. You know what I mean? Like, it's just old, it's not bad. Does that make sense? Because conceptually, it's just a smaller moray, right? Alright. So, like, that's why I'm kind of designing it off the moray. Also, wait a second. Oh, Diesel, I caught Diesel using this on Onyx Walk the other day. I see, I see. That little frontier curve. Honestly, I might actually change out the entrance for my own to have that little frontier curve, actually. That means I would have to change some of the design, but it would look cool. Nah, I'm fine, I think. We're fine. There we go. Just so it's not as open. Okay, now that I realize those are books, I'm gonna have to texture those anyway, so I might as well leave that like that, and then just deco those on so you can walk anywhere. Moray, if it read ChatGPT summary on the front side meta swap. I'm not gonna lie, I have to disagree with that. I think you're just a hater. I think Marlin actually does quite a lot right, but does quite a lot wrong too. I hate these like stripe patterns. They're so cringe. I accidentally sent myself to that shadow zone. Yeah, you chanted Ron and you got banished yourself. Alright, this one actually makes sense to me for the Oarfish, getting this Marlin done, because I'll learn a lot for the Oarfish. And being able to do the Oarfish for my own build will be quite fun, because I want to have it as a broadside, like a turreted broadsider. Kind of like some of the Landing Hood's craft. Anyway, I'm actually going to run some... Oh, we are in the ad break, so I'm going to go take a break, I'm going to use the washroom, and we'll be right back, chat.
Au loin, elle s'élève, seule, sans détour.
Alrighty, chat, we are back, hopefully from the ads, and myself from the washroom. Saturday night open for OpenTT, mean after the stream? Most likely, yes. No ad streaks coming back? Good luck! I said no ads this stream? Nice. Some of y'all are luckier than others, it seems. Let's take a look at what we're doing here, shall we? What do we do here, chat? Let's actually change these side ones. I always like having like the submarine type hold, right? Let's do it like this. And then middle bulkhead in here like this. And then that way we can still have the 2-meter shtick like what it does on the original. Kind of like here. Honestly, that being said, let's try something else. Because this could also work. Let's put this in here. And I almost want to say I like that more. Definitely like it more than down here, that's for sure. But let's play around with it a little bit more, shall we? So they have it flat down here. No, I'm not a fan of that. Honestly, I think we just keep it how it was, keep it simple. But TTT, sorry to keep asking, I don't know what you mean with Saturday night. It's a big time span. That means it will be decided on Saturday after the stream. If I do 8 hours in EU4, I'm probably going to want to take a little bit of break from the computer and then go open TTT. If it's, you know, if I only do like 4 hours of EU4, then I'll probably go to TTT right away, just to get it done, right? Yeah, if I don't give a specific time for something, it means that there isn't a specific time for it. Or it means I forgot. Most of the time it's the former. Sometimes it is the latter, though. There we go. Let's just do this here, just for the looks. I want to make sure we're looks maxing our build. I like a little bit of metal as a treat. Just to armor up that area. These exact numbers for everything. Yeah, that's why I'm telling you that there won't be a number for it, probably. I understand, though, and I apologize. It's just, it really depends on how tomorrow goes. Like, we might get a really good Nubia run, or maybe I get shafted by the Mamluks again and I have to restart again, in which case I'll just, you know, save it for Sunday, right? For us Euros, it would be pretty late to be doing stuff after an 8-hour stream. Well, yeah, I'm probably not going to be doing an 8-hour stream. But I'm saying if I did, though, then we'll talk about it, but hopefully I don't, because I'd be exhausted by the end of that once again. I think we actually keep the crane at the front here so that we can have something that like helps roll the depth charges off, or maybe we use the crane as the depth charge mechanics, like just have it throw it off either side, could be really funny. It'd be at like midnight, but trains don't stop for a bit of darkness. Okay. Yeah, because assume... So, like, let's say I start at 10 a.m. tomorrow. So, like, it's not a late start. I start at 10 a.m. That means I'm done stream if I do 4 hours, which I'd like to. Because I want to do shorter EU4 streams, because that way I can edit it down into videos easier. But Assuming I do 4 hours of EU4 tomorrow. I want an hour to go get. I probably have an hour to just decompress after stream, make some food, and then I'll be in the Discord at 3 p.m. my time, probably. So I don't know what 3 p.m. is for you guys. But, I'm on MST, right? So. The other option is on weekends, I just stream earlier. But I'd rather not. I'm already struggling to wake up. Like, my sleep schedule has been fucked the last few days. Since Barony. Like, I should not have stayed up until 3 a.m. playing Barony. But I did. And now I'm suffering for it. Good old arrow stagger. That's just stuck. It's such a good clip from the Goldwater video. Just the arrow stagger. Did you see Arrow's short about it? Where she did like the SpongeBob meme. She was like, look, I'm on TV. You know about Hammer Time on Discord? Yeah, I know. I use it. So tomorrow when I announce what the plan is, I'll put it in Discord time converter. Alrighty. Well, honestly, I don't know why I need to do this. I could just probably do this. No, I kind of like the chunkiness from that, actually. Alright, ouch. Ouch! Go. Alright, there we go. Let me just do this all the way along the side here. And that should be good. Now, how do we do besides here is the next question, eh? Yeah, boys. Because we're definitely... Ugh, I should probably have some metal, but I don't want to do metal all the way down. That'd be cringe. We'll do wood for now. I think we have enough room in there with the Sea-Wiz that we can just put metal on the inside. But man, it's also an easy difficulty craft, so... Don't know how necessary, so to speak, that would be. I do see an issue with this. Because we stretched out... Actually, no, that works. That works. We're fine. What am I saying? There's no issues here. We're all fine. How are you? It does... Go like that. Who designed this? Where is Carb? I'm gonna grill him. Let's figure this one out, shall we? So theoretically, this should probably go here. Oh, that being offset's gonna annoy the hell out of me. Oh, that's gonna annoy the hell out of me. One second, let's... Oh, Carb, why? No! I think we just do this, and then... we try our best. Like that, maybe. I think that's the best we're gonna get, honestly. Maybe deco hide it like this, so at least the texture's fine. Okay. There we go. Alright, that works for now. And then just have this be wood, and we'll metal up the interior. And then probably... What time is it? We got 6 minutes, okay. We can speedrun this, guys. One here, one here. Let's do 2 out from here, actually, and then... I do want to have 3 of these, actually. Ooh, actually, you know what? I can't have them back here, because the sort of miss-out just up going. So I want a free by free space in here. In that case, what we do is we move you over. There we go. That's how we'll do that. Now at least a little nook for our missile interceptors over here in a free by free area. I think that's what we have to do. Get the metal and equal thickness going around. Make wood and deco some metal panels over for shaping. Yeah, I know. That's not what I'm worried about. Yeah, and then that, you know, mimics those areas there. We don't need a full barrel, though, because we just have missile interceptors. So, will work for me. And I do believe we are all out of time for today. So I'll save this W. Save this as the Marlin. And honestly, I'm pretty happy with that, in terms of hull modernization, how far we got today. Now, we didn't, you know, we didn't change from the initial design. We've just made it a little bit more smooth and Sveno style. So, I'm pretty happy with this so far. Which means on Monday, unless I'm playing Barons of the North, we'll see. I don't know, because Barons of the North, is that a land campaign or a sea campaign? I only have Deepwater Guard stuff really to fight it with, so... Looks a tad phallic. Every Sveno airship looks phallic. That's just... It's like that meme where it's like, yes, you're building this Sveno airship, it's gonna look phallic. Land campaign? Okay, yeah, so I'll have to use the Kopesh, and I don't have a land campaign stuff ready, so... I'll wait until August 1st then to get that, just so I can get, like, some stuff done. Prep vehicles for Friday? Ah, I see, okay.
Rustin, I have a message
Diesel,
from the field. Joe Biden.
So true. Welcome in, Diesel. How's it going? So, this is the start of our Marlin Diesel. I'm pretty much doing the same concept, except I'm going to be replacing down here with... I'm going to get rid of this turret here, have some sonar buoys, have some depth charges, and then over here, I wanted to do roll-off depth charges. What do you think about it for the platform up front? Instead of being a cargo platform, it has roll-off depth charges. Hey, Celestial Fairy, welcome in. Is that the Roasted BT on Twitch.tv? Big fan. Hello. Oh, I recognize that name. Hello, Fairy. Fairy, you and I haven't chatted since 2016, which is crazy to me. But it's really good to see you again. Definitely a fan of that idea. Yeah, I'm waiting for Diesel. Hey, check DMs real quick. Oh, that's Arrow. I thought that was Diesel just because VIP tag plus yellow name. Oh, wait, Marlin's a medium? Huge. Okay. Yeah, Arrow, what about it? Hey, Fairy, welcome to the assemblage. How's it going? Roar War expands. What if you made a mechanism that comes out at the front gate to drop off the bombs and then have it pull back and to reload and repeat? Okay, that can work, because I was discussing already. So, we have depth charges pop out here on a piston. We have this crane, like, we make the missile turret be on this crane. Have it breadboarded to either go left, fire the missile, and in the time it takes to reload, it comes back here, picks up one, comes back out here, fires a missile, down, right? Just judging, nothing new. True. What if we did something like that, Diesel? Or do you just want it to look like it's a reloaded mechanism and then just keep the roll-off for consistent? Because if it's a medium, then I'd rather have it be consistent fire. But I'm also going to give it super cavitation APS on the side here. So, that could also be an idea. Place one of the APS turrets on the paddles to be a hatch, which pushes out a rack that dropped them into the water. Okay, I can see that. And have the APS on the other side for asymmetry? Yeah, that could be an idea. Those are my two ideas. I think I like the idea of having the front push out on a piston. And then have the crane can just move back and forth between the two roll-off areas as if it's dropping off roll-off depth charges. Because I do want some roll-off depth charges at the front for sure. And then maybe this turret we replace with a piston that comes down and like... Oh, okay. Actually, Diesel, I like that idea. Bit bigger rows, it's pretty tiny. I don't know, I feel like we could get away with it. Have like the rails on either side and just fire off a bunch of missiles. But what I was going to say is, Diesel, replace this turret, okay? Take this turret out. Piston up here. Missile, like, so it deploys, comes out to about the same height here. And it's a spin-in depth charge dispenser. So you know like those like World War II depth charge launchers, except they're on a spin block? And just have it spin, like, mines all around. Sorry, I should have the camera smooth it on so it's not as disorienting for people. It'd be cooler if it could be a bit bigger, something between the size of Moray and Buccaneer. I was trying to keep it to 8k volume. Because I don't want a power creep, especially as it's one of Carb's old designs, and I know Carb has concerns about power creep and size creep. That'd be a good idea. Mess of enemy torp interceptors. 8k is way too small. You think so? Well, I say 8k. This is only so little volume because there's no interior. I'm gonna be having an armored interior. Like the turret's gonna be armored up and whatnot. It's not Carb's design, it's Caps? Oh, is it? Okay. I thought it was Carb's for some reason. Because if this is a medium sub hunter, then I think, honestly, I think the size it is right now, I like it being a smaller Moray. Magnet only bombs for subs. Yeah, well, I'm still going to be keeping the crams on the turrets, because Sveno style has to have APS or cram as the main weapon. I thought the depth charges were just additional. Huge cluster missiles? I don't want to get involved in clusters. Here, let me build this how I envision it, Diesel, and then we can pick it apart, or we can just restart if we absolutely need to. Because I think, with the idea you just gave me, I can make this work, and still have it be really fun to fight. And still be a little guy. Because I'd like to, if possible, keep this smaller in the Moray. Because we don't have a lot of small Xenocraft anymore, right? We have the Sunfish. What do we have for small Xenocraft? We have the Sunfish, we have the Paraiba. Oh, actually, Paraiba's bigger than this. Yeah, so the Marlin, Sunfish, I think the Grouper's getting replaced with the Steamworks. Yeah, Steamworks is Riker anyway. So I would like to keep this around 8k if we can, because then we'd have a small Xenocraft that is like in between the Sunfish and the Paraiba. The Wanda? Oh, Simoon, right, you're right, the Simoon, yeah, that's true. Simoon is 5k. Yeah, so in between the Simoon and the Paraiba, I'm quite happy with the Marlin being there. What does the Simoon look like? I haven't seen it in a while. I never catching. I do like it. Yeah, look at this little guy. I love him. Did you just redo this one, Diesel? This feels updated. Oh, I love the little side carriage did for the coal. I love this little guy. Wanda, Orca, and Swordfish are, I think they're technically Sveno, but they're a little bit different than traditional. Or did they get? Oh, no, they got moved to Fitzgerald. Okay. You legit went over it a month ago. Well, yes. Did I? Oh, okay. I didn't remember. I just remembered the Walrus got updated the other day or earlier today. Okay. Yeah, that's Marlin's progress for today. We have the idea now. I really like the idea of the piston depth charge fin. And we obviously only have that if it's detected below 0 altitude, then we have it pop up the depth charge and just start spinning that fucker. It'd be so funny. They're old Sveno, Wanda, Orca, Simoon, Sunfish, Marlin, and Moray are all relatively small in my own. I wouldn't call it a Moray small. Oh, it's only 9k. Okay, never mind. Maybe it is. Is it, okay, yeah, it's a little bit... The interior's a little bit, open, that's why. Yeah, because I plan on keeping most of the Marlin's interior. I just want to, armor up the guns, of course, right? Armor up the guns, armor up some of the components like the engine and the jets. Yeah, some of these jets really need to be redone. But, we'll figure it out. There's those light blocks. paddles. Yeah. No, I'm excited for the new Marlin. Hey, Kibble, welcome in. Enjoy your work. Funny how the moray used to be considered huge 10 years ago. I know, right? That's why I think that's my frame of reference. I was like, the moray isn't that big, but... Or, sorry, the moray is pretty big, but no, it's only 10k. He is a handsome lad, though. You spin blocks with the paddles anymore, by the way? You use held blades of deco, like on the moray or tarpon? You mean like the prop hub with deco? Because I was gonna say held blades have... I assume you mean the prop hub with like... Yeah, okay, yeah. Oh, so you don't even want it like a proper... Okay, that makes sense, I guess. Yeah, that makes sense. Then I'm gonna make this a bit more circular too, I think. Put these turrets back here. Because that way we don't have that jar in like middle section there where it splits out. Oh, maybe I'll keep them as is, who knows. I want to redo these turrets though, because they're not exactly low profile like Sveno turrets should be. They're a little chonky. Saves 4 spin blocks for 8 spoke paddle wheels, that makes sense. Alright. I will say though, like in terms of Sveno shaping, I am really enjoying learning how to shape this. I've been having a lot of fun with like all the like, little unique nuances so far. Those are the Kraken turrets? Probably. I want to rebuild the Kraken at some point too, unless Paphos is going to accept Bean's submission. Because Paphos, like, right now we're trying to figure out a lag issue because Bean's submission lags Paphos' computer but no one else's. So, and Paphos has like a pretty similar computer to the rest of us. So we don't know what's causing the lag. Alright, I am going to grab the roast designs and let's see what we got today. So, actually, you know what? I'll talk with Diesel a bit more. So, okay, you guys are lucky Diesel's here. I'm going to chat with Diesel a bit more and then you guys can submit roasts. But yeah. I think as far as the Marlin goes, though, I think we keep it the same size. Oh my gosh. And then, what's the other one? Hoplite you just updated. Sailfish, Sunfish you just updated. I think most of Sveno is updated then, isn't it? Especially if we're removing the grouper. And then I need to redo my Falkenheim, but I have an idea of how I want to do it now, so I don't mind. Got the same because I was in it, no worries. Hoplite isn't Sveno, so... Well, I'm talking about airships in general. Yeah, I know Hoplite's balloon core. Oh, you know what? Okay, so the Paraiba is still an absolute bastard, but... Is it... did you update it recently, or has it just always been, like, an absolute bastard? That looks updated recently. Yeah, that was updated recently. God, I do love the look on it. But I will say, Simoon and Paraiba feel like a little bit different. Like, they're not as, like, circular. I need to work on it. It's Magister? Is this Magister? Oh, yeah. No, this can't be Magister. This looks way too detailed. Look at the missiles. Look at the missile turret. Mix between old and new Sveno. Ah, okay, it is? Wow. Yeah, because I was gonna say, I do like the style of it, but it feels a little bit different than modern Sveno with its curves, right? Like having the flat deck there. Let the rear prop on that? Oh yeah, I absolutely adore it. No, you replaces God Ugly Paraiba before I became Kodal Help. Ah, I see, okay. So it's an anti-sub missile launcher? Yeah. I want to make something that uses this actually. Oh yeah, I can see it's Magistera. Simple weapons. Might be hated. Cool, okay. Alright, now I'm going to close the roast submissions, because everyone should have gotten it in by now. For those of you that don't know, you can use !Discord to go into my Discord, and every Monday and Friday I review player-submitted craft, just to give some aesthetic help. It's a nice way of keeping the community, you know, rewarding the community for sticking around for these streams. Alright, closed. There we go. Syrup, you can horse react that so it's confirmed it's closed. We have the Havoc, the Palisade, the Top Attack, the Harpy, the Hensbane, the Cygnus, the Skirdikind, the Vanguard V2, the Seaport, and the Deepwater Guard SC-4797. What? 497. That's crazy. Alright. Seems good to me. I believe that's everyone. So what I might actually do this time instead of my usual movement, actually I'll just move it into the Rose folder. Do I have anything in there? No. Because I know I can just click and drag them from my downloads folder, but then that clogs up my downloads folder. Why do I just have something here called Deepwater Guard? Oh, I know what that is. Okay. I was gonna say, why is this in my downloads folder? No, it's because I need that for the Riker video. RP reference true. Let's take a look at it. Y'all have. Let's take a look at the crop today. All right. Oh God, why is there? Oh my God, you have a backpack now. Oh, okay. This is the one with the throat goat. Yeah. Yeah. No, this turret looks a lot better. Both the shaping on it and the. Oh wait, no, sorry. It's Sector 7. I like doing that in LH colors. Yeah, this turret looks a lot better than the one you had before. I still don't like chin-mounted turrets that are massive like this. I prefer, like, if you had the turret just beneath the cockpit here. But, or like maybe here where this little circle is. That would be a great place to have the turret come out. But, this is better than how you had it before. Aside from that, the rest of the craft too, also very nice. I love the circuitry on the bottom there. Yeah, kind of like this little guy back here. See how he's like a small little rear-mounted turret? The plane is interesting. I'm not against it. Not bad, not bad. The engine casing is fine. DLS is fine. Yeah, honestly, I really can't find any complaints with this cringe. This is a very nice upgrade to the old one. That's just when enemy is near. Nice, yeah. And the silhouette is still pretty nice too. So, no, good job on this. Honestly, I think you've done a really good job at updating this design. And you have it separate from the mounts, you'll love to see it. Too many people try to... Oh, back here, yeah, separate this one out. Bulk it up a little bit. I was gonna say, too many people try to have their jets flush with the hull, and you don't want that. You want them to have, like, armored mounts. Because then it'll look like, It'll look like how you want it to, right? Is that a jet pointing straight into the bottom of that front turret I see? Yes it is. I would definitely change that out, for sure. That's why if you made a smaller turret, it would help you a lot, too. Is this a deck turret, or is that, like, internals? No. Cringe. No. No wonder it always looks massive. It's because you... Cringe. You're breaking my heart, cringe. The tradition must stand. Oh my God! No wonder it's such a massive turret. Oh God! All right. The Cygnus. Oh God, that is bright. Jesus.
Welcome aboard your Augustus Stellar Foundry's vessel, Captain.
Oh. Okay, but I'm not gonna lie. That's pretty cool having the sound clip, but I do not want to listen to it right now. It's very simplistic shaping. Take a look inside too, please. Nice try. We don't do interiors here. You know better. It feels very like Star Trek-y in terms of the engines with the back there. And you kind of have windows all around the ship. And the drop, like, where's the facilities for this guy? Like, where you drop, you know, like, is there any hangar or anywhere for him to go into when he gets retrieved? You know what I mean? It's an interior-focused ship. That's a shame. Aside from that, yeah, the flat space on the outside you definitely want to break up too. And same with you when I talked cringe, like, have your jets not flush with the hull. Have them, like, you know, work it out around them. Evilston, yeah, Evil Royston be like, I will look at the interior today. Yeah, so you want to definitely mount this one further out, I think. And again, that will really break up this flat shape, right? It does land and deploy the rover. Yeah, but I'm saying once it brings it back up, how does it maintain the rover? So let's show you what I mean, okay? So let's say you do this, because I do occasionally showcase how to do what I talk about. Do this, right? Here, 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 here. Actually, even just that already makes it better. Do you see how that breaks up the shape down there? Like, that already makes it better. Yeah. I think just deploy the jets so that they're mounted like that adds a lot more detail and grable into the outside. Especially at the bridge here. Like, there's very little visibility on this bridge. I would definitely add some more glass around it if you could. And just start there and work your way up from there. Yeah, like that, bump it up by one. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, when you ever have jets or like step it out of the stars, it kind of does. That's a good point, Fairy. So whenever you have jets or VLS bays, you want to have them denoted from the rest of the hull, right? Because that's the lead-in factor in square-looking craft is when people don't denote different aspects. Fuck this hard because it lands. We'll put the landing gear near the jets. Have those bumps include landing gear. Sorry, I got the stress there. Oh. Maybe deco a track that looks like it could move the rover back through a hatch into the hull. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly what Driver said. That'd be a great idea, actually. Alright. Guard SC497 has escape containment. Okay, let's take a look what you got here. Ah, okay, so I like what you got here. You're trying to do the Pathos snout without the top bit. I really like this. Would I recommend that? A little canvas awning. So like some poles out maybe to like here either side, deco them to be like 0.5, and then have off of these make these like about the same thinness as what you have up here, and then have a actually maybe not that wide actually, maybe here. Let's parse this out a little bit, and then from here to like up here. Have it where, like, maybe, you know, some tiny pole comes out, and then you have a canvas roof going across the top here. Just protect against rain. Making it actually move would be hard, just a piston block. You say it deployed when near combat to reduce drop time, but stored for a long distances? Yeah, exactly. Remember, if you ever don't want to build something with your build, just hand wave it. That's what I do. If it didn't get cooked too bad. Well, there wasn't much to cook was the issue. When you have just a flat cube like that, it's not much to cook. Not fully happy with the design. Okay, I see what you're cooking here. Is that detail paint? Is that fucking detail paint? Stop using detail paint. Rah! Multiple signal processors help missiles against decoys? Fuck. I don't believe it stacks. Someone could correct me on that, but I remember I tried to work on it a few years back and it didn't stack at the time. It's based on a real design. Yeah, you can. Yeah, the freebooter's based on a real design. You can do Deepwater Guard style stuff and still have it based on a real design. So I like him to show off the freebooter whenever I can. You know what I mean? Like, you can still have it based on a real design. Don't get me wrong. Alright, do I have any canvas on this? I don't, Sag. Aside from that, the front really should just be built up. So let's go through that, shall we? Hey, look, someone who used offsets correctly. Hell yeah. Good job. So I'm just going to show you how I would build this out. There we go. There we go. Come out to over here, because I started doing this recently because I was reviewing the style and I was like, oh yeah, that could work. And it gets you a little bit more oomph on your designs by having that one extra to block out. There you go. Oh, you did this up here. Interesting. Very nice. Okay, I see what you did up here. So you didn't want to, oh, I like that. That's cool. It's very scrappy. Because normally I have my turret wells based off where my metal is. But you've done it a little bit differently than how I would. But it still looks pathway style, that's the important thing. Not detail paint, porthole deco. Ah, I see. I was like that, so I'm trying to get a bit more unique design. Well, in that case, just do what I do. Do full metal at the front. And take that one out. There we go. I always do, like, you can always tell it's one of my builds if it's built up like this. Because I love doing the freebooter style bow. With the top capped off, so it's not fully, like, you know, flat on an angle. So that could work for you, if that's something you're interested in. That's how I make my pathos bows unique, at least. And then still just keep back here, right? Up here feels a little bit, like, sparse. Maybe try shaping it out. Like, the freebooters isn't fully done yet, admittedly, but, we try, you know, doing different styles of block combinations. And then, instead of just doing portholes, I normally do the windows like this. This is a great example. So, 1 meter slope sided by 2 meter slopes with 1 meter slopes up above, like a roof. So let's do it on your build just to showcase what that would look like, okay? Now, I didn't know about that design. Again, that's just my personal style of doing it. You don't have to do things how I do it. Keep in mind. Like, if you're on, you know, if I'm giving advice and whatnot and you disagree with what I say, don't feel like you have to listen to me. I just give advice on how I would do stuff. That's all. So let's do a 4 meter window for you, shall we? Then over here, we'll do this. And over here, because we have it there, let's do it like that. Ooh, now this is an interesting conundrum we have here. This is the way you built this out. There we go. Something like that, I think. Maybe I should have done this with a pleek, I don't know. Take that out for now. Let's put a full one in here, and then... I know that's theoretically a... Actually, that works. That still works. Let's do something like this, right? You know, it's one of the things I like doing, like, whenever I get deep underguard style designs, I actually like just building it out for the person, show them how I would do something. And maybe over here we actually replace that with a square back corner. Actually, I think I was fine with this one. Okay, so let's see how we painted it over on the freebooter. Alright, pretty simple. Take you guys. Here. You and you. And then, because it's a little bit off, maybe we throw some detail in there as a tree. No, not there. I think we do secondary up for here, just to break it up from down below, right? And then, honestly, the more I look at this, the more I actually do want this to look like this. That helps us break up over here. So, let's do one of these from here, just to break up that shape in. I'm not sure about that, but you can see what I mean, though, where just breaking up that... You very rarely want to have many flat surfaces. You really want to scrunkle your deep underguard builds like this. Does that make sense, Scarab? Dude, I do and scream and yell every time Borson yaps about my boats being bad. True! If you throw a tantrum every time I roast your craft. Oh, you know what that needs? That needs metal. That's what that's messed up. That's what I'm like... Because I'm like, that doesn't look right. I'm trying to figure out why. It's because it needs metal. So we do this. Do this. This, and then I think... Now, obviously, you'll be able to do this on your own, so I'm not gonna, like... I'm just gonna delete this afterwards, and then you can... The important thing about working on your own and not me just giving this to you is that A, you'll figure out how to do it on your own, and B, That doesn't work actually, never mind. And B though is that you'll you know, you got this. Yeah, something needs to go right here, I think. Maybe another little window, perhaps. Maybe even perhaps some asymmetry. Yeah, something like that. The issue is building at such a small scale here, right? To EP for that, if it does that, I would just cry instead. But yeah, something like that. Just really flesh out that bottom instead of keeping it so tiny, I guess. And then back here, this stern looks great. Good job on this. The only thing I would change just with a square corner. There we go. Is there anything else we change on this? I really like this stern. Holy crap. Good job on this, Scarab. I'm very much a fan of this. Honestly, I think everything else is, like, pretty solid. Oh, invert the paddle wheel. So have the wood beams and all that be on the outside, and then the paddles on the inside. It'll just make it look a bit more solid, and it'll make your build feel a lot more solid. But, aside from that... Oh, you know what? Actually, maybe down here, since we made the windows up top, I would do something like this now, maybe. Like there, and there. Just to break up that shape once again, because Deepwater Garden pretty much is all about breaking up your shapes. Yeah, look at that. That looks a lot better. Alright. There we go. Took us a little while to get there, but we figured it out in the end. Yeah, so something like that would really help your windows, I think. And your superstructure in general, of course, but... One of the Deepwater builds has that paddle design. Oh, I'm not saying it's a bad paddle design. I'm just saying I would swap it out to make it feel more solid. Because at a distance it feels very flimsy. Not in the good way, not in the intentional way. But yeah, I think bulking out the superstructure like that would help you a lot. Love the rigging up top here, that looks great. And yeah, no, good job on this. Like, very good job. Definitely something to be proud of, you know? Alrighty. I'll let you figure out the rest of that one. Sorry I took so long on the show in case and all that, but sometimes it's just nice to find a build where you can really educate chat on what I would change. You know what I mean? Box-shaped metal plating to add decorative to that paddle wheel, that would make it feel more substantial. Substantial is a great word, Suzu. Speed at the back, but with them to the add depth charge launches to the rear, hell yeah. But also, you have a wonderful start, Scarab. You just gotta keep at it, you know? It's one of those things where, like, you're scratching the surface of Deepwater Garden design right now, and as you get deeper, it's gonna look a lot better. But I fully believe that will be an excellent looking craft by the time you're done. Alright, Havoc. GT color, please, okay? Let's take a look at you. Alright, that's a tank. Pretty solid tank. First thing I'm going to complain about is the symmetry back here. You have some asymmetry, which is pretty good. Actually, you know what? I won't complain about the symmetry. Okay, what? Don't put the exhaust right in the center. Move it to one side, please. The exhaust port is such an easy way to get asymmetry. Having it completely centered like that, you're crazy for doing that. Not my first Deepwater Garden design, actually. You know what I mean. I mean, like it'll be your first. I don't want to say lore accurate. That's mean. How would I want to word that? I haven't seen the other Deepwater Garden design. I'll put it that way. Once I see the other ones, then maybe I can consider it. Alright, the side tracks look great. Oh, I love the way you have the little, like, wheels down here separated like that. That's great. I might copy that for Steel Empire, actually. For the Surtur. Because Carb got back to me and was like, oh, you need to, like, do some wheel decals. I was like, okay, fair enough. I quite like the look on that. I love the stowage back here, too. Very nice asymmetry up here. Did this? This was Artesian? Very nice, Artie. Very nice. Also, yeah, that's more of a car exhaust, yeah. The turret's also super nice. Honestly, don't have much to complain about there. ATGM. Ooh, multiple ATGMs, the gun. The Eye of Sauron. Pretty good, pretty good. I will say the front's a little bit basic, and again, this is the issue with using mostly heavy armor. Put some more metal in here, just, you know, break up that heavy armor texture. It's such a... Or maybe even just add camouflage. What would happen if you added camouflage? Hashtag camo 3, I believe. I'll just put that in everywhere. Yeah, you can see how that breaks it up a lot more. Breaking up that heavy armor texture is probably going to be your biggest struggle with this one already. Spare tracksuit, yeah. Spare. I always do love spare tracks. You're a turret kisser, aren't you? Oh god, the Discord memes are leaking to chat now. Should you Discord at some point? Hell yeah, sounds good. Yeah, I haven't had food yet today, so probably I'll probably be in the Discord when making food later, and then I am going to go finish up that Riker video. That is today's goal. Also, if it's Soviet Russian era. Ah, I see. Yeah. All right. Next, we have the Henbane. What is this creature? Ooh, you know what? I kind of like this creature, Artuvo. Artuvo always has such a unique style. I love it. Why does this remind me of Star Wars? This feels like a Star Wars tank, like something the pirate faction would have in maybe like Corporate Sector 40. Actually, it's rather clean. And you are very cool. You know, kind of based. Yeah, no, I very much like this. It's very nice. Oh, and the paneling on the side. I do love a good paneling. Honestly, I don't have many notes for this. This looks great. Maybe just some more, like, sensor greebling, but... It's angular, it's clean. Oh, definitely add some detail down here, for sure. Very good. Russian Hello, Skeebles, how's it going? It's 70s vibes, just needs a bit more exposed technical greebling and weathering. Yeah, like, maybe open one of these panelings and have, like, greebles in there. It's a skid tank? Okay, cool. X1 Viper? Ah, yeah, there it is. I was gonna say, it definitely looks Star Wars. Yeah, maybe bust open some of these panels and have, like, greebling and wires visible. Or on the bottom, too. Yeah. Sorry, guys. I'm a little bit eepy today. Alright, Palisade fan build. Let's take a look. First off, I want to say hell yeah. Palisade fan build by Orange. Secondly, I love that shield on the back. Does that open up? Ooh, very nice. Love the way that looks. Love the little balcony back here too. Oh, the casemates too. Very nice. Holy shit, Orange, you cooked on this. What the hell? God damn, Orange. Love the angled missile hatch, honestly. Doesn't have her, so you never see the bottom. Ah, I see. No, very nice on this. Oh, massive paddle wheel. You'll love to see it. I'm a big fan of massive paddle wheel. God damn, Orange. This turret feels a little bit off, but I'm not educated enough on Onyx Watch to really correct it. Once I do the Onyx Watch style guides, I'll know a bit more. Love the smokestack back there. Love the amount of decks at the front. Love the casemates. The casemates are, like, killing it. Honestly, really don't have much to add on to this, aside from maybe just fix that APS turret, but everything else, perfection. You know what I mean? It has, like, that nice teardrop shape. Very nice, very nice. Make it fire and have the shield open up? That's what I was thinking, right? Open the shield. Can I open the shield? I don't think there's a button for it. This isn't mine, Diesel. This is Mr. Orange's, who said he wasn't going to submit, but we will, we will find a way to get them to submit the Palisade when they've done this. Because I really do like this. I love those casemates. I want to steal those for when I do my own Onyx Watch build again. Oh, does the shield open up if I spawn in an enemy? Alright, just because Diesel's requesting it. I do play favorites in this chat. Does it open? Oh, it does open huge. Look at that. That's it. Holy shit. Oh, I thought those were RTGs. I didn't realize those were missiles. What kind of missile deco is that? Oh, that poor Marauder. My god. That is incredible. It doesn't float, though. Classic Onyx watch doesn't float. Okay, that's a lot cooler now. But oh, yeah, there you go. Missiles make if the godly. Yeah, I'm definitely stealing that for the Castellan when I eventually... I think the Castellan... I don't know. The Castellan is something I want to reapproach as a build. But, like, that would easily be up to, like, a 2 million craft cost. But also, what if I did one, you know, like 2 million cost craft per faction? Because I'm always, you know, lamenting about the status of big ships, but like I feel like I could probably do it. You know what I mean? That could be interesting sometime, actually. Alright. I'll say fan build, seaport. Oh, it's building. Seaport ahead, I sure hope it does. Yeah, it's a little harbor area with a warehouse. I do love pier warehouses, honestly. Oh, and nice detailing down here with the stonework. That's great. I will say, it's one of my favorite fins whenever you see like stonework like this on dockyards, because it's like, it's such an unnecessary detail happening down below. Like, you don't really need an... You could have just done like a solid brick of stone, right? You don't need to have these arches to support the warehouse up top. But it's one of my... Especially because it's always underwater, right? But it's always like, because you see this a lot in Venice, you see this a lot in, well, most of the old world, and it's always so interesting. Foxhole, true. Very nice on this stuff, I will say. Good job, as always. Alright, I'll wait for the ads to be done so I can continue reviewing people's ships. Yo! Yeah, that'd be cool even if it takes an eternity. Yeah, I just want to listen. What's wrong with big ships in the campaign? I'll wait for the ads, and then I'll give my big ship rant. Oh, as for those of you who are subscribed during this ad break, I hope you've been having a good time. I am exhausted today. So we're gonna get these done. I'll probably skip out on Dishonored today, which is why I didn't put it on the schedule. I figured if I felt like it, I would do it, and if I... Oh, we could do one mission. No. No, because I'm thinking of how long the last mission took when we did it. I actually even went back afterwards and did it ghost non-lethal, too, for continuity's sake. But, what it is, I need a day where I'm not staying up too late editing. So after this Riker video is done, I'll actually have a good amount of sleep next week, which will be nice. Or this coming week, I guess. And then I'll be able to actually do stuff. By the way, people here playing Fossil have not in a while. Very fair. Alright, I'm gonna assume people are back from the ads now. So, the Skarkagant. Let's take a look. Sweep is important. Yeah, I need to learn to get more sweep. Oh, cool. This is kind of like what I'm doing with the Oarfish. Monk, thank you so much for sending this in. So, like, these kind of like, you know... I'm gonna be doing a Sveno style of this where it's the inline turrets. We had ads. Yeah, you guys back from the ads? That's the question. About the shape? Yeah, no, Monk Wizard always cooks. But this is kind of what I'm doing with the Oarfish, where you're gonna have like these casemated side turrets like this that are gonna be broadside on either side. That's why the Oarfish is gonna be so long. Hey, Artie, welcome in. Thank you for the hydrate redeem. I will get that. Yeah, there we go. I got the chevrons on the side, too. But no, as always, Monk, this is great. Really not much to complain about on this one. Love the turrets. This is a great example of how I want the Oarfish to look. I know Cruiser was asking me what I meant by the side turrets. Ooh, Waterwatch just went live. I know who we're raiding now. Okay, chat, do you think I could raid into it and be like, hey, Command and Conquer Generals, let's go, right now? Do you think I could just, like, take over his stream like that? That would be mean, though. But also, like, hee what if, chat? It would be mean, but also I feel like I know Border Wise well enough, and I could be like, all right, chop chop, hop on Command and Conquer with me. Do it. All right, we'll do that. I love Border Wise. I know he's gonna be a good sport about it. All right, I know what the raid miss. The raid miss is going to be Command and Conquer Generals Giga Chad. All right, but yeah, honestly, this looks great. I never have any advice for Monk Wizard because I genuinely just feel that Monk Wizard is a better builder than I am in his style, so I really don't have any reason to critique. Again, he does RTS proportions, which I don't. I do more of a I do plausible builds. I like plausibility. Some people like realism, semi-realism. I like plausible, where it's like, there's no reason anyone would do that, but it could happen. It could work. And then Monk Wizard does like RTS style stuff. So it's a lot of macro details instead of micro detailing, which is always really cool, I think. Very nice at this. I do love the look of this. Alright, top attack class, armored cruiser. Does this imply the existence of a bottom class armored cruiser? Why does it... 2-stack? What are these? Gremlin class... Okay, they're VTOLs. Okay. Okay, buddy. So, as always, I think 2-stack has too much hull to turret ratio. Oh my god, you've made a fucking tumble home carrier. I hate you. Is 2-stack in the VC right now? He's a streamer. I could just steal him away. He is in the VC right now. Okay, Chad, he's in the VC. I could just abduct him into the on-air channel. It has cram mortars. Oh, okay, good. 2-stack's here to answer for his crimes. Yeah, I noticed it has cram mortars. I also noticed that it's a tumble home aircraft carrier. I'm eating lunch. Oh, okay, I see. But like, you don't even give it enough, like, runway. Or a hanger. Where's the hanger, Zach? Like, I would remove this entire rear section here and put, like, a hanger. Kind of like how the I-400 series submarines had a hanger. And also, these planes are massive. Like... where's the razor bill? Like, width-wise, they're fine, but, like, they're so tall. Make them little guys, right? Make them carrier planes. Actually, the razor bill is taller kind of because of the prop, but we can ignore that. The hull is a lot shorter. Or maybe just make the cruiser bigger, I guess. I'm not sure. But, alright, Empress, enjoy your work. Chunk, and the runway ends in the super. That's one way to sink a ship. Yeah, me when I come landed back in. Oh god, okay, at least these towers aren't twinned. But, also, what's with the circular, superstructure? I feel like the circular superstructure that you constantly do is really what's holding you back. And they look too similar, right? And you could definitely put, like, a walkway here. Have some verticality in the build, right? I think your hulls have gotten really good. I want to see the same progress with the superstructure now. Like, layer your superstructure. Don't try and just have each element separate from each other. Layer them onto each other. You know what I mean? So instead of having this on a tower above it, put this down into the layer in here. Kind of like how Paphos Bridge would be. And then back here, have that walkway coming across so it makes sense, right? If you really layer your builds, I think this would look a lot better. And that being said, I'm being harsh on 2-stack because I've known 2-stack for a while now. 2-stack has come a long way of building. And I think, like, you know, your turrets are gone really good. I think just your general shaping for both the planes and the superstructure could really help. Much more pretty, plus C for a true. But I do really love this hull that you've done. Like, this looks great. Did you just turn correctly? Hell yeah, you did. Let's go. Huge. Girls, good job on that. Due to the paint? Ah, I see, I see. Alright, who do we have next? We just had the Vanguard Mark II. Or V2, sorry. Oh, this is interesting. Okay. Polandia. Where's the front? Okay, front's that way. Ooh, okay. I kind of like this then. I kind of like the side turrets here. Okay, issue with the side turrets is what is that texture with the heavy armor? Also, what is this turret well? Why is the turret so much smaller than the turret well? I don't know if Polandia is still in chat, but if you're so the way doing turrets like these works, and oh my god, this barrel is massive compared to the turret down here. So this turret needs to be all the turrets need to be bigger. Turret not centered. Honestly, I was going to ignore that part. I'm not even looking at that yet. But yeah, definitely center of a turret up here, and then the way turret wells like this work is that the turret has to have like the turret ring has to match the turret, right? So make the turrets bigger. Down here too, just for proportionality, make the turrets bigger. And same thing to you that I told everyone else today. Offset your VLS or your jet sword. So take this. There you go. There you go. You can see how that already adds so much shape. And better yet, you can even make this a different color. Or any color, preferably. Just something, please. What color am I on right now? I like it. What is am I on? Oh, Mark's watch, right. Let's go lightning hoods. I think secondary is the one we want. No, that's green. What's their primary? Oh, it is the black, okay. So let's do black down here. So you can see how like having that a separate color and split off will help you a lot. And you can keep your intakes there. Actually, I think the intakes are a really good detail there. Let's spread this out a little bit more since it's the last one of the day. Let's do a full thruster block here. There we go. And then you can either have this in here, like that with your intakes, or you can connect them right across. It's up to you. Both of them would work quite well. Hey, Queen Pentax! That's a great talent skill, kind of does. Also, Queen, it's good to see you. I haven't seen you in a hot minute. Welcome in. Hope you've been well. Alright, but yeah, just stuff like that I think could do really well. And then I like the idea of the superstructure up front like this. I think this is a little bit too sharp. And a little bit too small compared to the rear. Like, it doesn't look proportional, you know what I mean? Back after a lot of BS money's been. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I hope things are resolved now, at least. Well, there's not been a single Bebop replica in the workshop. Really? Well, Driver, I guess you know what you need to do this weekend. And then what else did I change? Same with back here, just like, you know, spread out the detail into it. You have a lot of detail up front and not a lot at the back. But I do like the engine casings back here. That's done really well. And those are inset. So if it's inset like this, you don't have to worry about it as much. But aside from that, it's a solid start. I'd have to see where this goes. Alright, so. Chat, you know what that means. Whee! There we go. That's going to be all for today, chat. I know, I can't believe it, but we finally got to the end. So, today's plan was obviously FTD. Tomorrow will be EU4. We're going to be restarting our Cruciate Restoration run. I want to see if I can get that achievement before EU5 comes out for sure. I think the entire hull feels like a huge brick, sadly. You'll get there, don't worry. Right now, just worry at one segment at a time. I think your structural achievement is actually quite good, like, in terms of how it tapers towards the back. I think just your proportions that are a little bit off, if that makes sense. Now CNC time. Well, we'll see. I don't know if Border-wise will let me, but alrighty. So we're gonna go right into Border-wise, and we're gonna see what he's up to today. Yeah, no worries. It's why I do roast. I you know, making better builders for the game. That's what it's all about, right? Alright, I'm gonna make the raid message. Let's see, and sorry, I had caps lock on. C and C generals? Question mark. Giga Chad. Alright, there's the raid message, chat. Raid Border-wise. There we go. Now, I will say, if he says no, don't pressure him into it. We're doing this to be silly. We're not doing this to be assholes, okay, chat? That's the biggest thing that I want to say here. But aside from that, happy to Russell BT. I'll be back tomorrow and Sunday with EU4, and Monday we'll be back with some From the Depths. So if you have anything you want to change from what I discussed today, over the weekend, have fun, get it done. I'd love to see it. Aside from that, the regular video should be released sometime before the next FD stream as well, so that'll be fun. Keep an eye out for it on the YouTube channel. Links to my YouTube, my Blue Sky, and my Discord are all in my About section. So if you want to join in, stay tuned or anything like that. Obviously, if you're here, leave a follow if you want to find out more of what I do. I am live most days, Friday to Monday. And with that, I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.